Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planets. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is currently Monday, December 8th, 2025, and this show begins now. We want to let you know we're on live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. So please be sure to subscribe before you leave today's episode. On today's awesome show, we're going to talk about the game recaps, and including game recaps is going to be yet another Austin Stotts situation, which is, again, not very comfortable. Then we're going to talk to Pat Gregoire, who's going to give us his instant / overreactions in that segment. And of course, our two stars of the weekend. There's only two winners. There can only be two stars. Before we get started, I want to let you know this show is presented by the event tickets tab at natalkradio.com. Once you click that tab on the website, search for your favorites or local National Lacrosse League team. Again, natalkradio.com. Click the event tickets tab today. All right, so now let's get into our game recap segment. And we are going to start off with the first game. Now, Friday, of course, in Halifax, the Thunderbirds, I had questions, many others have followed suit about Warren Hill. I've said if the Thunderbirds have it their way, and they are very competitive, I have said that the Thunderbirds will end up needing Warren Hill to play most of the season, if not all. Oshawa coming into the game was on a very high note, having had a great game against Toronto just a week before, and having a good look in their barn in terms of attendance for that sized arena. But oh my goodness, the spanking that Halifax put on this team. Now, granted, the game was close at the end of three quarters. So make no mistake, this was not a blowout for most of this game. However, it was when it mattered. And the reason it became a blowout was because Warren Hill was not just playing, like you could say, yeah, the Thunderbirds had a great defense in front of him. And that is true. But watching the saves that Warren Hill made, he absolutely helped his defense as well. So again, this game was 5-2 going into the fourth quarter. And because Warren Hill kept slamming the door shut, 11-2, including a Tyson Bell goal. I believe that was the first ever goal with a Tonka. So there you go. Shout out to Tonka Trucks. And of course, the Tonka had a loading lacrosse. Again, free advertising. Loose Mesh, speaking of Tonka, said, "Did you get Frickled again?" Frickled was crazy. Like we are not doing that. The Ride Talk says, loving the coverage. Thank you. Another first-time commenter. I cannot tell you how awesome it is seeing the first-time commenters this year. How does not have Saturday highlights up? I believe on the ESPN app they do. I don't know where. I know it's like wishy-washy the way they do it, but I believe actually ESPN. I was shocked that they have stayed consistent on the U.S. side of things. I was happy about that. But yeah, so that was how Friday ended. Oh, that's not how Friday ended. Oh, this is so unfortunate. So, how did Friday end? With that. Hey guys, great game by Warren Hill. Here's a statement on Austin Stotts. Thank you, NLL. Okay, so now the statement reads, the National Lacrosse League has placed Austin Stotts on, and I love this term, investigative leave, while it determines whether Stotts committed a violation of league rules in connection with off-floor conduct. Stotts will be ineligible to to participate in league games until further notice. Now, I've asked around, obviously, because there's a lot of speculation whether or not did he do something again. It's very odd. It's very odd. And I did not do the Lord's work. I absolutely forgot to pull up another thing that happened literally Sunday, like yesterday. We can do that now, and then we'll get to the Rush game briefly. But after this, less than 48 hours later, something called the Fish Pond or something. Let me get the actual name of the team real quick. The name of the team is the Frog Pond, same thing, Frog Pond Maulers. Austin Stotts is standing with two people who I believe look to be almost related. Looks like one of them has to be related to him. Whatever it is, it says tournament MVP. And this team also thought it was cute to tag the San Diego Seals. Now, I'm not saying they did that on purpose, but it's like, read the room, why don't you? Like, the Seals a week ago relinquished the right. So again, with this, all I've gathered is allegedly he might have done something else. But my whole thing is, what was the off? I've heard the first statement they gave when they reinstated him. Apparently, there's word out there or rumors out there that they were not actually going to let him play anyways. It's very, very weird. I think the PR side of this is absolutely horrible at this point. Like, you thought it was bad when they reinstated him. This on a Friday night after Warren Hill's performance was also weird. That's all I'll say. I could go on the mental health and this guy made some bad. I can do all that. We all know that. I'm so sick of this at this point. That's where we're at right now. I'm not going to speculate any further. Let's just hope we can put this in the past, no matter what has to happen to do that. So there you go. Now back to the floor. The Saskatchewan Rush looked like they were right where they left off last year. Aiden Walsh hit the pine early for Cam McLeod. And of course, that was just to get, I believe, Aiden Walsh some little bit of, kick in the stomach. Like, hey, pal, you're our guy, but come on now. Like, we're not just going to let you have a long leash here if you're not going to be good. And to be fair, it also might have been to motivate the team because he might not have been good, but the Roughnecks were overmatched, okay? So Cam McLeod comes in and takes 8 shots, allows 3 goals. So he is exactly who we thought he was, maybe. And then in the rest of the game, Aiden Walsh did his best. Christian Delby, I don't know. Christian Delby impression is like, that's too far. But he did a great job the rest of the way. The Roughnecks offense found a great time. And this was a 1-goal game very late, which was like, whoa. Now, I'm going to look at the game flow because it was up to 5 at one point. Yeah, it was 11-6 and got all the way to 14-13 before Zach Mans and Mike Messenger did their thing. And Zach Mans was an empty net. I believe Mike Messenger was too, but it's not saying it is. Anyways, the Rush ended up pulling away late, but wow. I'll admit, for a 2-game weekend, that was pretty eventful. I know one of them is not a game, but hey, pretty eventful weekend. History in Halifax and the Rush hanging on for dear life, even though they did cover the 1.5 or 2.5 for what it's worth on Coolbet. Go Polar Bears. Hey, speaking of Polar Bears, we're going to welcome in Pat Gregoire on the other side of this. You're watching Daily Dive. We're going to do some overreactions / instant reactions up next. So don't go anywhere, please and thank you. We'll be right back.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
The sun is shining, and so is Pat Gregoire. How are you doing, sir?
Sorry, 1 second here.
You know what? Oh, this will be a good time to announce this. Guess what I finally figured out?
What's that, Mike? What is that?
Why Teespring, well, actually, I don't know why, but I figured out how to get the merchandise back on Teespring. I was trying to do a what time is it, and Box Lacrosse time is officially on there, including a mug. But that mug you're drinking out of is actually no longer available.
Well, I guess this is a collector's item now.
Correct.
So limited edition.
And
I could put it on eBay,
yeah,
make a ton of money, and maybe buy an NLL team.
And don't wash it. They shipped out of by Pat Gregoire as well. So bad. Oh, you like the new bio?
Let me give a quick read. Yep. Claims you one.
Oh,
come
man.
on now.
Thank you for joining the graphic on that. That was fun. Thank you for that.
All right. Oh, no problem for having me, buddy. It's unfortunate. Just we're still waiting for the anticipated debut of Monday morning quarter frick. And once again, 0-2 against his alarms. This is a tough scene for our boy Frickster.
That's a good record. Speaking of record, I like that. By the way, I want to mention, so what was this? I had a tweet saying the rush attendance does not look good at all. And they had 6,000 people. This tweet came in during the commercial break. I said, let me guess, was there a playoff middle school hockey game? Because there's always excuses out there. Mark Roskin rants. I love that Roskin. I forgot his name. I can't pronounce his name, but he's always commenting. He says, come on now, don't be obtuse. It was high school quarterfinal pond hockey. 2 of the players just might make it to junior D.
That's incredible.
Oh,
that's
great.
Incredible. You know what? Like 6,000 fans. That's okay. That's not bad. Right. But when we're talking about the Rush, a team, a franchise, a fan base that used to pack that arena to the gills, it is a little bit disappointing. But at least we're trending in the right direction. I know it was like minus 35 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. That hasn't stopped fans from before. So I agree. I'm sick of hearing the excuses. Let's start getting Rush Nation back inside that building. Let's get them closer to 8K rather than 6K. But hey, you got to start somewhere. And if the team's going to play that entertaining style of brand of lacrosse, there's no excuse not to have people inside SaskTel Center.
Correct. I looked up negative 35. I don't know if Google's lying to me. It claims it's negative 31 Fahrenheit. I don't know if it goes different when it goes negative. That's weird.
That is crazy. I'm not too sure, to be quite honest. Yeah,
Oh, well. We have some comments here, and then we'll get into it. It's Captain. Dougie did what I thought he'd do, which Doug had a great game. We're going to go to that game. He was really good. He'll surprise me. I'll give him props. Can he stay consistent? I hope he does. And the Neglected Banana. What a name. Okay, so we'll get to that too. Let's talk about the game. Halifax, very close game, very defensive battle, but I mean, you did a whole Warren Hill take, and tell us the game. What a crazy game. You were there too.
It was nuts. The first and foremost, the atmosphere was awesome.
Yeah, 10,000
in the nest, 10,000, very, very, very good. It started out a little bit slow and sleepy. You could tell the fans were looking to try to cheer for something, but both defenses, the goaltenders were great. And I came on this program on Friday at Morning Shoot Around, basically dropping all this knowledge about how, hey, look it, Doug Jamieson owns this Thunderbirds team. He's 5-1 in his career. His save percentage is off the charts. His goals against average is unbelievable. It all kind of came to fruition, but the other side of the coin was Warren Hill. I did not have that on my bingo card. I did not have him having a historic performance, becoming just the third goalie in NL history to let up a 2 spot with Matt Vince and Bob Watson, one Hall of Famer, one future.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, I would say. But to be quite honest, like I think it was pretty poetic considering coming into this year, whenever you heard a debate about Halifax and the Thunderbirds, it was, is their goaltending good enough? Yeah. Is it now time to hand the reins over to Hutchison? Do they need to go out and get a goalie? And yes, I know it's one game. Let's be honest, Mike. There's no he's going to be able to play like this all season long. But if he can play half as good, 3/4 as good, this is a championship contending team. Now let's just wait and see, though. This is just one game. I'm not going to overreact, although you're bringing me in here to overreact. But let's not overreact just yet. But you got to give credit where it's due. Warren Hill and that defense was superb.
Yeah, Doug Jamieson, to your point, by the way, was 35 of 43. And the fact they only gave up 43 shots, like, oh, that's a good game for him. Really good. That's not bad. Eight goals. Like, give me a break here.
Yeah, three of them were empty netters. Let's not forget. It was 8-2 until Armstrong, Bell, and Peterson ended up having those empty netters. So Jamieson was great. It was not, you can't hang it up on the defense. I thought their defense played great. There were stretches where Halifax offense couldn't get to the inside. They kind of looked out of sync. But man, it was just the Thunderbirds defense, which again, not taking anything away from Warren Hill, because he was unreal.
He made some great saves, but yes.
He really did. But Halifax did limit this Oshawa team a lot to the outside. A lot of shots perimeter, really struggled to get to the middle of the floor. So I think there is some cause for concern here if you are an Oshawa fan after 2 games watching that offense.
I should not have texted you that question because now you're just going to say it for me. Come on, now this guy. No, we'll get to that. But it wasn't for a lot. Like, I know Frick said one of his best bets was over whatever the goal total was for Alex Simmons. Now, 2, assuming when you take 15 shots on goal, not terrible, I'd say. But man, like you said, it was all outside. Simmons, I believe, in like the game against Toronto, was able to get inside a couple times. Like you said, they were limiting him outside. Ty Kurtz gets 2, and Oshawa, that's their highlight reel for the night.
Yeah, first time ever. Shout out to Graham Perro.
Yes.
If I'm allowed to give him shout outs on this.
One guy with 2 goals.
Yeah, Ty Kurtz became the first player to be the only one to score for his team. Simmons, to be honest, Mike, a majority of those shots were from the outside, but he did get to the inside a few times as well, just wasn't able to beat Warren Hill. The thing that kind of really jumped off the page for me was Simmons. Not only did he have 16, I think they ended up correcting it. It was 16 shots on goal. He had 9 off goal. Something was just not.
I see.
For the first time ever in his career, held with 0 points. He was frustrated all night long, had 3 turnovers. Halifax just did a really good job forcing him in areas to shoot the ball from the outside. Again, at some points, it just felt like Oshawa was like, I don't know what else we can do here. You throw out the game plan and just try whatever you can.
Correct. Shout out to Halifax. And one more thing before we get to our overreactions was to this game, when this game ended, there was now the teams that won the face-off battle were 5-0 to start the year. I know you saw that post because you liked it, and that's what. Thank you, algorithm. But yeah, they were 5-0 at that point. So because Withers dominated, because that's what he does. All right.
He dominates against the best in the league, and this is not a knock on Mike Byrne. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the league. He's a true gritty player, but he's not a true face-off guy. So no doubt he's going to get work. But it was a masterclass from Jake Withers from start to finish at the dot.
He had really kind of a down year last year, though I think he was hurt a little bit too. But good to see him back in form. All right, so
he was one of my dark horse picks for MVP.
Withers?
On the OTCB, I said that was one of my dark horse picks for MVP.
Shout out OTCB. There you go. All right, so we got 2 overreactions / instant reactions here. Does this one game prove Halifax is legit? And legit is obviously vague.
Legit is very vague.
You're
Here's
welcome.
what I will say. No, I don't think so yet. And
Okay.
I'm on the record that I said I think Halifax is going to be a top 5 team. I think I'm one of few people that still was giving Halifax credit as a
Yes.
team. But with that being said, it is just one game. The offense left a little bit to be desired at some points. They only
Fair.
finished with those 8 goals. 3 of them obviously were empty netters. Now, do I think they're going to be a top 5 team? Yes. My opinion on this team doesn't change, but I still think that there are some concerns with losing Thomas Hogarth, which sounds like for the full year. Thank goodness they went out and got Brendan Bomberry in the offseason, because now, boom, you pluck him up front, but now you got to fill a hole back in transition. Certainly something that you don't want to see. So for me, let's pump the tires. I still think they're going to be a great team. Does it make them automatically a championship contending team? I don't know about it. Let's see what happens in game 2. Let's see if Warren Hill he's not going to replicate it, but if he can have a similar performance and can look like that legitimate number 1, then I think we can start saying, okay, championship contender. But right now, I'm going to pump the brakes. Let's not overreact just a bit too much.
I'm going to say it does not prove they're legit, because my definition of legit in this context is, I'm like, okay, you were up there with the contenders or your cream. I would be lying though if I said they didn't prove anything to me, because they showed, just like Saskatchewan eventually did, which we're about to get to, they showed to me they should be at least still in the kind of a conversation of we're at least a playoff team. And I did not pick them to make the playoffs. God, there's dust in the room too. I'm kidding. But no, I feel like that Halifax at least proved something. I don't know what it was, but I can't act like that didn't happen. I mean, I don't care how, like you said, if Warren Hill plays half as good, they still win a bunch of games playing like they did. So I trust the offense.
For sure. So do I. I do trust that they're going to turn things around. There's no doubt about that. But like I mentioned, 0 goals in that third quarter. They come alive a little bit in the fourth. I just think it's too early just from one performance. And I can't really change my opinions too much.
Because you were already,
I was already high on them.
Correct.
Right? But for others that said, they're going to miss the playoffs this year, then yes, I could see how that maybe changes your opinion on this group. I think the biggest measuring stick game is this week, going up against Buffalo in Banditland.
Yes, sir.
Let's have this conversation Monday if Frick decides to hit the snooze button again, and then I can let you know, okay, are they legit? Let's wait to see after a performance in Banditland.
I'll also be lying if I said that I thought Buffalo's going to win. After this game, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. So, one more thing I want to get you about Warren Hill. Dawson, I don't know if you read the Isle Indoor article from Dawson.
I did, yes.
He made a really awesome point, which no one, I don't think, talked about going into this game. In the Mann Cup, Warren Hill was benched for Doug Jamieson. Not saying they're not friends, because I'm sure they are. Warren Hill saw him across the pond there and held it down better, even though Doug was also awesome. So I thought that was a great point by Dawson. There might have been a little extra motivation there to kind of say, hey, I'm still here. I thought that was a great point by Dawson. I had to mention that. All right. Speaking of offense, though, Oshawa has 10 goals in 2 games. Give me a panic meter out of 10 for the offense. You can go 0, but up to 10. 10 big. Oh, my God.
6, 7.
Okay. God. All right, go ahead.
I swear to God, I did not mean to do that. I apparently
6.5.
said 6, 7 on the broadcast, and I didn't hear it. Someone caught it.
How dare you, sir?
Grow
up.
I know. I can't believe I just did that, to be honest.
I don't either.
I'm a little bit concerned, but it is early. But as we know in the National Lacrosse League, it gets late early on.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when you look at the way that this team kind of has trended in the first 2 games, very, very top heavy.
Yep.
It has been their big guns who have been the only one. I mean, no one
Kirk,
really.
Tyson, and Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that are driving the bus. Sure, Ethan Walker had the 2 goals in that fourth
Yeah, but he
quarter.
wasn't doing a lot of offense though.
No,
Last game, like
no, not
first game.
no, no, not really. And it was just a big fourth quarter for him. I'll be honest, Kyle Jackson and Jonathan Peshko, I know they're depth pieces,
Right.
but as a depth piece, you have to look alive here. You can't just be
Yes.
a guy that's going to crash and bang. You got to chip in with a couple of assists here and there. You got to get a goal. Of course, when the offense is struggling, it's going to be your top dogs that are going to drag you out of the fight. But I think they need more from those depth pieces. It can't just be Simmons, Kurtz, and Wilson being the Williams being the only 3 guys contributing. Mike, it can't happen.
Their shots on goal are ridiculous right now, or the shots in general. I do want to say before I get to my point here, before I get to my panic meter rating, Nathan Grennan was a guy who was there a couple years ago. I have said since they let him go, that was a bad loss. And I promise you with Rochester, now they've got injuries. He's going to step up. I promise you, you want to have him on this team right now.
He would look great on that left side. They
he's not
need
afraid to
someone.
shoot.
No, they need someone who can come in and free up some space for Dyson, free up some space for Walker. They need that depth piece. And a guy like Grennan would look great. And another guy who would look pretty good too, and they had him, was Eric Fennell.
There you go.
Those are 2 guys that jump out to me, right? Yeah, turtleneck. 2 guys that can crash and bang. They don't need the ball in their stick too often to contribute, but when they do, like you said, they can shoot it as well. So depth is concerning for me. Simmons is going to be fine.
Yes.
Kurtz is going to be fine. Dyson's going to be fine.
Yes.
Who else on this offense is going to step up and help out? That's my concern. Also, would love to see some more transition. Will Johansson has been snake bit. He has been an absolute animal. I think if he had a couple more points, we'd be talking about, is this a guy who could be in the transition player of the year conversation? But Tchaikovsky had 2, like in the opener. Will Johansson doesn't have anything. This is a too athletic of a defense not to be jumping up and contributing. That's another way that you can help your offense out when they're struggling. Score one of those juice goals in transition. Get your team all fired up. We haven't been able to see that either.
Yeah, I think that their passing is so good. Like, why not try it? Like, you guys are too good. You're 2-on-1. Try it.
Yeah, the other issue is sometimes when that happens, Mike, because your offense is looking into to getting into a funk. Sometimes the defense feels pressured, like, "Hey, let's pull this out. Let's get it to our offense. Let them get their touches." Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
Right. Instead of, okay, I'm going to take it because now your offense is sitting on the bench for another 30. Now they're coming on the floor. Maybe they force the issue. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 with that, but it's my hand is hovered over the panic button for this offense. I'm not slamming it just yet. The good thing about it is the defense has played really well. Doug Jamieson has played really well. They can hold down the fort for a little bit while you figure it out offense, but they can't be doing this for too long.
Correct. That being said, I'm at a 2.
Okay.
Which is why I actually like this question.
Wow.
The reason why, and I don't know if you thought about this, because I texted you this question like 10 minutes before the show. That was my fault. Pat, who have they played? Bad defenses are pretty. Yep. There you go. Okay, so that was. I'm like, and I'm not saying it's not an excuse, but it may explain a little bit, because I feel like I want to see this team. Give me like 5 weeks later, if they're still like barely cracking 10, we have an issue, and that can happen. But for right now, I'm going to give them a little bit more time to gel, even though they really don't have an excuse not to gel. I still think they'll be fine. But you're right. We're getting there. But 2 great defenses, I can only chalk it up to that so far.
It's a great point. You go up in week 1 against Toronto, one of the best defensive groups
and Nick Rose
in the game. Nick Rose, who was great for about 3.5 quarters of that game.
Yeah.
And then you go up against Halifax, who's a great defensive team, but an all-time historical performance.
That's what I'm saying. So
They got Georgia this week, who look great against Buffalo. How are they going to be able to replicate that performance?
Right.
They also ended up getting kind of lit up a little bit in that second half when the guys started to come to life. This could be a get right spot for Oshawa. If they struggle to score the ball here, Mike, then I think we're talking about Panicville, because week 4, they go back home to Oshawa, and guess who rolls into town? The Vancouver Warriors.
Yeah, so I can see the panic button even though I'm at a 2, for the record.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Like
there.
I said, it's hovering. This is a panic button. My hand is over it. I'm not hitting it yet, but I'm close. I will say this, though. Whoever was the schedule maker did not do them any favors. 4 straight weeks in a row. Toronto, Halifax, at Georgia, and then at home to Vancouver. That is 4 very, very hard games to open up your season.
It's also 4 traveling games, technically, because you can say it's 2 home games. You still have to travel.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, no one even thinks about that.
But could you imagine if they were still playing in Albany? It would be 4 complete travel games for them.
We're not allowing that on the show. The Albany slander will not be tolerated.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Oshawa over here. Already, the Rush did end up beating and covering on multiple books, including your own, 16-13. I don't know how they did that, but they did. So a balanced Rush offense. Austin Shanks, Zach Mans, and Robert Church all had at least a hat trick. And a bunch of guys also had multiple goals as well to pile on. But the Rush let him get back in it. But what did you see from Saskatchewan? And how the heck did Calgary come back?
Well, first and foremost, what I saw from Saskatchewan is a team, again, that doesn't care who scores the ball. As long as Green's getting on the board, they're excited and they're fired up. I thought their defense in the first half looked really, really strong.
Yeah,
kind of fell apart a little bit in that fourth quarter. I think they just took the foot off the gas.
You watched the second half? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
TSN Plus was working.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Boudreau. I thought Boudreau, Messenger, and Hossack really drove the bus defensively and in transition. I think Hossack, again, he's obviously the anchor back there. But the one who jumped off jumped off the page for me was Messenger. Transition player of the year. I think we need to be talking about him potentially. Just a ridiculous video game stat line. He looked like a man possessed. But as the game progressed in that fourth quarter, things kind of came unraveled. And what I will say here, Mike, this is where face-offs certainly matter, because possession after possession after possession, that's how Calgary was able to get back into this game.
Weird,
is because Ignacio kept winning face-offs and they were kept able to go back on the offensive front.
And the Rush at one point, real quick, Cody and John actually said it during the broadcast. The Rush were like just letting him do it because they couldn't beat him because you don't have Naso. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how long Naso's out. I mean,
he was questionable, which is good.
Yes, that is a great point. Like, they got outshot by Calgary. Like, I think honestly, if Naso had, like, I don't want to, you want to talk about an overreaction. I would love to see them replay this game with Naso at the dot, because I don't think that fourth quarter comeback is as triumphant as as it would have been.
20-5, pretty much.
Yeah, because like it would have been a closer battle between those two guys.
Yes,
instead, it's just all right. Possession, let's get it to our offense. Bam, Pace scores. Face off, boom. Now, Cook scores. Bam, face off. Noah Manning scores. Like, it's just, it allows your offense to get back to work, and the momentum stays on your side.
Correct. For me, I said in the first time, and I'll say it again. Aiden Walsh, congrats to you, sir, because getting that kick in the stomach early kind of, I'm sure, hurt him a little bit. He's like, we know what he's going through from Vancouver to now. And he rode the pine all of the second half of last year. So good for him for coming back in the game and stepping up. Like you said, face-offs mattered in this one. I think momentum face-offs always matter. I don't forget the stats of who wins, who doesn't. But when a team is making a run, if you can stop or start it on the dot, because giving your guys more chances to score might actually work out. I don't know. Could be wrong there.
The thing with
But go
the
ahead.
thing with the face-offs, and I've always said it. I know I'm one of the bigger proponents that face-offs in fact do matter, Mike. But for me, it's not every face-off is created equally as well. But
Yes,
those
it's a straight
face-offs
line.
that they needed it to win, those momentum ones that you talk about, they
Yeah,
had those. They had to have them, and they had them.
because of Messenger. Which
Well,
is funny
Messenger
because
he was great everywhere else except for the face-off dot, and it's not his fault. He's not a true
I
face-off guy.
I think the fact that he won 6 though was very impressive. And you're
Mhm.
so just a little sneak peek there. Overreaction / instant reaction time. In
Okay.
the second half, did the Roughnecks prove they are not as bad as we thought?
I think so, and I was starting to drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid earlier
Salamander.
that week, talking to the
Yeah.
salamander himself. The belief is in that locker room. After seeing them in preseason, it's like, okay, and I mentioned it on, I think it was, maybe it was on Loose Mesh, maybe it was this program, not too sure. All the
You're
shows
on
are
to
blending in at this
That's
point.
what I'm saying. You're so good at this now.
Um, I never thought scoring the ball was going to be an issue for Calgary. Pace looked outstanding. Dixon was great. Cook came to life in that fourth quarter. Thought he was kind of pedestrian earlier on the game, but he looked great late on. Braden Maye seems to be everyone's breakout star, and he looked great as well. Noah
Yep.
Manning was pretty solid in his first game. Kyle
Great
Pepper
first goal.
gets the goal
Oh, yeah, Kyle
in
Pepper. Yeah, yeah.
transition, and it was
Yeah.
nasty. I never thought scoring the ball was going to be the issue. The issue is going to be keeping the ball out of the net, and not because of Aiden Walsh, just because there was way too many changes on the back end, and a lot of young guys are going to have to step up. So I will say, yes, they are going to be better than we thought. They're going to knock off a couple of teams that when you're going to look at Preston's picks or who you got or our best bets, and you're going to look and be like, oh my God, they just proved us wrong. Are they now a playoff team? Are they going to be contending and pushing to get up? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is still a team that misses the playoffs.
That was my fault for throwing you off there with the Kaya comments. I'm sorry. You haven't said anything on shutout sessions. Great point. I haven't
No,
either,
it's
to be
true. I
fair.
haven't.
To be fair, I haven't either. This because again, this comment that on the come on now. So
I'm waiting for the invite. Waiting for the invite.
so my reaction to that is in the second half they proved they're better than we thought. Yes and no, because do I think they're going to leapfrog anybody in the standings? I don't know who it would be besides the Philadelphia Wings. I don't know, but like you said, do I think if Oshawa still does not have Joe Nardella? Yeah, if Nashville is going to do that, then it absolutely matters. If Oshawa had played this weekend against Calgary, Calgary wins that game because Calgary's got the offense.
That's a hot
Calgary's
take.
offense would have outperformed, and they would have had the face-off dot. That matters.
It's hard to argue. Like I said, I've never thought this Roughnecks team was going to have an issue scoring this year, and I think they proved that against a very good defensive Saskatchewan team. Now, with that being said, though, interested to talk to the folks this week in Saskatchewan. We do have our TSN game of the week on Friday against Ottawa.
Yeah.
I really want to figure out from Coach Quinlan and some of the other leaders, okay, what happened in that fourth quarter? Was it Calgary really stepped up, or did you feel like you let the foot off the gas and allowed them to get back into it?
I was thinking that.
Interested to hear that.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually was like kind of thinking about that too. I was like, maybe they didn't let it go. That's why I didn't go like the full. They're not going to jump anybody in the standings because we don't know yet. But good for Calgary for showing the fight, and they didn't have to. They did not have to. Captain Salamander helped them out, though. Good for him. I'm sorry. I've got a bunch of comments here. Some of them don't even matter. I want to get to this. Fox says lots of lefties in the ALL that Oshawa could bring up. He loves ALL, but I don't mind that. I mean, if your guys, like you said, are not stepping up 5 weeks from now, sure.
Listen, Glenn Clark has never been afraid to shake things up, make a move. I think after week 2, maybe a little bit early, but I mean, signing an ALL guy to a practice roster spot, bringing him up, why not? Why not? I love that take by Fox. And I agree. They need a hard worker. They need a guy that's going to crash and bang. We know the top end talent is there.
Yeah.
What are the depth pieces going to do? You have to provide something. And I'm just not seeing it from the rest of that group for Oshawa right now.
Tiger Clark game 1 to game 2, I guess, wasn't it? Because game 1 he was good. But they like
game 1 great.
In the battle of the Suns, like you used to call it the Sun Bowl, he was better than
Yeah.
Howick. But this game's like, oh, well.
Yeah, and the thing I think you know what? He was one of the few guys who were getting to the middle of the floor. He just dropped a lot of passes, a lot of feeds out in front. He dropped a lot. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I think that right side with Clark, I like the way he's played through too. I would love to see more from Peshko, considering he is a top prospect, former top 5 draft pick with Vancouver. So I don't want to hit the panic button too much with a guy like him, but on that left side, they're missing something. They need to address that at some point. Is week 3 too early? Probably. But before you know it, week 6, 7, it could be too late.
You did it again.
I just did it again.
It's so unbelievable. By the way, Peyton, what side would Peyton Cormier play on?
He's a lefty. So
he would be on the right side. Okay, well, that doesn't apply. I'm trying to think of guys who are just kind of, not saying he would find a place, but it doesn't matter about that. Anyways.
I like where your head's at.
It's up here. Neglected Banana. I had said in a reply to someone on Twitter that, and some people just don't know this. I feel like it's general consensus though, right? That Calgary is we don't know for sure if they're allowed in the new barn, right?
No, they'll if they have a team in Calgary, they will be in that building. They're a part of the ownership group that's with the Flames. So I couldn't see why they wouldn't. It's in 2027, I think, of the fall.
Right.
So we're still a little whiles away from that arena even being built. It is going to be crazy busy though. I know there's a lot of concerts and events that are going to be in that building.
That's because if those concerts cost more and they're going to still fill the barn, you can't really get away with cheap NLL tickets. That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah, the only issue is I think the Saddle Dome's getting torn down, so I don't know where else they would play.
This is a good one. I would not mind the mustache. That would be and he would win fresh fits every week there too, in my opinion. Saying.
I assume that's Dawson on the account. Whoever it is, I love that because
they don't have a manager. Yeah,
that's exactly the player that they need. I was shocked to see Saskatchewan had him scratched, and they elected to go with
even better. He's hungry now.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's a guy that plays with so much jam, creates so much space. But like you've mentioned before, a guy when the ball is in his stick. He's got a great shot. He's got that great first jab step, not afraid to take it to the rack, but he knows he makes, he butters his biscuit by working hard off ball to get the bigger guys open. That's a great fit. That is a great fit.
He admits it. Let's go. We got him. All right. I want to keep you here for 3 -1 stars. I really want to give a second one to another. I couldn't do it. It's not fair. We do have 2 new winners, our 60th and 61st winners.
Love hearing this.
You already know the first. Anyways.
I think I know the first.
I would be insane if I didn't, okay? Tyson Bell. Okay. Here's the thing. I honestly chose Robert Church. And I was like, wait a dang minute. There's no way. Because while he did have 4 goals, a bunch of guys had hat tricks. And while I do think Robert Church stood out, I had to. What are we doing? There we go.
Love it. Love it.
The video game stat line I was like, this is because watching the game, he's the one. 2 goals is bizarre from this guy. It was crazy from this guy.
He was awesome. He was fantastic. Yeah. He was all over the floor, throwing guys to the turf. I thought he was fantastic. I thought that he really was a spark for when Calgary started to close that gap. Obviously, a big goal. I am always a fan of defenders getting their love. So I'm not going to argue that. But man, if it wasn't for a historic performance from Warren Hill and you had him at number one, I wouldn't argue that.
Sure. You're right. 96.1 is what the save percentage rounds out to, by the way.
So you mentioned the 96.1.
Correct.
As far as I believe that is a record for a single game because we've seen two other goalies, right?
Yes. And I'm glad you said it because I was thinking to myself, how many of them faced over 45 or 50 for that matter? That's a wild save number.
Insane. We unfortunately don't have the data for the Bob Watson.
That's unfortunate.
I know. Really unfortunate, but for the Matt Vince game, it definitely was less shots on goal than that. So
we also have a crease another record back then too. I'm kidding. I love Matt Vince. Okay. Here we go. One more. Okay, we got to get this guy out of here. Come on now. Who would you rather go? So stupid.
Oh God.
I would go. I'm choosing Hasek, by the way. I know everyone and their sister wants to say Jeff Teaton, Graham Hasek. Well, good for y'all. Okay, Hasek's great. So is Matt Hasek, but Graham Hasek's great. Mike Messenger literally scares me looking at him. Okay, Graham Hasek is kind of like a tear you apart from the inside because he's a robot. Mike Messenger looks you in the face and like, okay, you're right, my bad. There's no way Graham Hasek has the same intimidation factor right away. That matters.
Listen, they both are scary individuals. Graham looks like he was built in a lab. Right. Messenger looks like which he probably has been, hunting for elk with his bare hands. I take neither because Graham Hasek probably blasts you into the boards and you explode. Whereas Messenger like bludgeons you to death, but then skins you and makes like a leather coat out of your skin while he's hunting for elk and bison.
As Jake Elliott would say, clip it. All right. Thank you, Pat. And thank you again. And by the way, since I did it for Captain last week, we're going to give you the music too. So here is your. Whoa! That was not what I wanted. I'm sorry.
I have to go get my luchador mask.
Jeez, man. Okay, this is the Frick music. Oh my God, I can't get away from Tim Dillon.
There we go.
With that one, thank you. Okay, thank you, sir. Oh my God, that was awful. Have a great day, and for the people that came on, thank you as well. We're gonna give Frick one more chance next week, and after that, we're gonna have to sign some new contracts and get our own lefty. You know.
Listen, Frick, the best ability is availability. Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Oh my God! Have a great one, guys. That was. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, and this show begins now. Joel Watson will join us first to talk about the goalie performances of week number 2, especially that one. Yeah. And of course, I'll get you fresh fits, including the broadcasters as well. Well, all right, folks, we're now going to bring in the big truck himself, Mr. Joel Watson. How are you today, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Were you able to consume the 2 games this week?
Yeah, I was able to catch them both. I had to watch the replay of the Saturday night game, but I seen them both.
Well, now, was the reason you had to watch the replay was because it cut off on NLL Plus or what?
Yeah, that was the
no.
Once that happened, I switched over to the Leafs, and I wasn't going back.
Yeah, that's fair. It's unfortunate when that happened. I do wish, I feel like I tell people like every 5 weeks there's something egregious on the broadcast, It's like it's not the play-by-play guy's fault or the analyst's fault. It's always something with the leagues, whatever they got going on. So we got to fix that before we're gonna be in trouble. Anyways,
something
did you
needs to
have a good
happen.
weekend though?
Yeah, no, all good.
Good.
We got lots of snow up here and just outside
Ooh.
Toronto, so it's snow covered and cold, but we're trucking along.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's start off with the first game. As good as Doug Jameson was in that game, Warren Hill was 10 times better, which makes no sense, but it was true. 49 saves on 51 shots on goal. Not only was it a 2 goals against, the 97% or whatever save percentage was pretty stinking historic as well. I know the defense was good, but what did you see from Hill specifically? Because he was wild.
Yeah, no, like obviously, coming into the season, there's a lot of question marks behind Warren.
Right.
I don't fully understand them all, but I know a lot of people from the outside see him as an up and down goalie, which sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. But
Right.
obviously Halifax brought in, I think they have 3 on the active roster, so maybe that lit a fire inside Warren a bit, and kind of just proving that it's still his net, and you're going to need to do a lot to take it from him. But yeah, no, like I think he broke three NL records and then tied the goals against one. Like I think it was the longest period without a goal.
It's a lot. Like 45 minutes,
The
whatever it was.
fewest guys to score in a game because Kurtz had both goals.
Correct.
I think there was one more, and then he tied with Watson and Vince on the fewest goals in the game. So like, pretty obviously historic weekend for him, and Warren's been through a lot this year, so I'm happy to see him do that.
Captain wants to know, did you notice the adjustments that Hill has made? He said Hill got beat upstairs. In this game, like you watch the highlights for sure. Like there was a lot of goals where like Warren Hill like makes a circus save he may not have done last year.
No, for sure. Like it was just one of those nights, right? I think he was just on, and then like you said, look at the other end. Like how many empty netters did they have at the end?
2 or 3?
3, I think.
Yeah.
So again, another 8-goal performance by Doug.
Oh,
he's the only bright spot. Like
yeah, that's right.
That Oshawa offense was like they were firing, but you got to score more than 2.
Now, Pat Gregoire came on the show yesterday and said it might be a little bit top heavy in Oshawa. Do you think there's value to goalies seeing different players, or do you think it's just like finding better shots, or what?
I'm not entirely sure about that. I think obviously you see the shots you see, right? And
right.
It's I guess it matters. I guess maybe sometimes it matters. Listen, these guys are all good shooters, so it's at the end of the day, like these guys can put the ball in there if they want to. But
right.
I'm not going to take anything away from Smoking Patty G. He knows what he's talking about as well. So
yeah. So your point about it might have inspired him on his own team to have a Justin Getty. I know that Hutchison was the backup on the roster sheet. Getty, along with Will McLeod, was a healthy scratch. So Getty's right there lurking in case something does screw up one of these days, which is awesome for Getty because he's still going to have a chance maybe. If Warren plays like this, no one's got a chance. I don't even care if your name is Drew Hutchison. But to your point, like I also want to ask you about another motivating thing because again, Dawson Nielsen, I said it yesterday, he had an IL Indoor article reminding people that Warren Hill did not play the final 4-man cup games. Doug Jameson did. And across from you in the same game as Doug Jameson, you outperform him even though he was great. Do you think that provided any motivation? You think he was just really good that night?
No, like I'm pretty sure Warren and Doug have a great relationship in the summer. Like that team is filled with superstars. Like it's not even really fair when it comes to Ontario. And then obviously New West put together a great team this year that forced 6 Nations to 7 games. Mm-hmm. But like they rode the hot hand when it got down to the Man Cup. Like it's not. And they did it the year before too. Like it's Dougie goes and he plays the last couple games. Like Dougie is an unbelievable. Like as good as Dougie is in the summer or in the winter, people
Right.
don't understand how good this guy is in the summer. Like the nets are smaller. Like it's the
Bigger,
bigger league. You get to use the wooden stick. Like
bigger
it's
spoon. Yep.
yeah, it's a whole different ball game. But no, like
Mm.
obviously at the end of the day, they're both 3-time, 4-time Man Cup champions. So I don't think this has anything to do with it. Obviously, they're friends, and you want to show the other one up, maybe. But I
Sure.
don't think the summer thing has nothing to do with it.
So you don't think that's the spark plug. You think it's just wanting to be great in general probably is the ultimate. That's fair.
For sure.
Any thing you want to say about the game besides that, or are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, no, I think we can move on. Yeah.
Cool. Calgary took on Saskatchewan. I do want to first get to Aiden Walsh because I've said it ad nauseum on the show. I thought Aiden Walsh played very well with Vancouver. Obviously, he's not Christian Del Bianco. So him being off for half of last season, and then this season, you come in, you are the guy, but early on, the rush get to you for whatever reason, whether it be your own defense or just you not playing well. And then he comes back and really has a great second half. What was your thoughts? And take me through the mind of what he might have been going through in that game.
Yeah. Obviously, first game, new team.
Yep.
Yeah, you go through training camp, but it's only a quick 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. So
Right.
I'm learning a lot of systems. I think Sask returned 19 of 21 players
It's a
from
lot.
that championship team. So,
Yep.
like that's a good, a really good team over there.
It's a recipe for goalie disaster.
For sure. And obviously, like, they got Zach Mans, they got Bobby Church. Bobby Church could be one of the best, he is one of the best goal scorers in the NL, but could be the best.
Right.
Like, if I need a goal, he might be the guy.
Up there, yeah.
So you just got to look at it that way. Like, and then, like you said, like Walsh, I think let 8 on however many shots in the first and second. They put McLeod in to finish the half, and like I said, Aiden came back in the second half and played lights out. I think he only gave up 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
But again, like we said this last week on the show, because Aiden Walsh's numbers were up in the top of the league last year when he came in, when he was with Vancouver. They're probably not going to be there this year
because
based on the team.
Correct.
But does that make him a bad goalie?
No.
And people have to realize that. Like it does matter what team you play on and what's in front of you. But yeah, honestly, good on Shooter and Troy there, the staff in Calgary for the adjustments they made, because it did make for a very exciting second half, and they almost did come back and beat them.
For the record, Aiden Walsh, like you said, 9 saves first quarter, 9 saves in the third quarter, which really helped him settle back in. They allowed 6 second half goals, but I think a couple of those were empty net. I believe
2 empty net goals at the end.
So it was 4, like you said.
It was 4, yeah.
You also made a great point about the goalie system, the system in front of the goalie that he has to learn. Sometimes goalie can be compared to quarterback, even though it is a way different athlete style. But really, a quarterback has to look at a system and has to learn a system. And like you said, if it was only got 4 weeks to do this because it is the NLL, you don't have all this time in the world to do it. And you pile on the fact that the new team in front of you, it does matter. So if it matters to a quarterback, it's got to matter to a goalie. So
for sure. Like, it could be night and day, the systems you play, and like the shots that you want to see versus the shots that they want to see. Like
and he might get better because the defenders might learn what he likes and stuff like that.
No, for sure. It's not gonna happen overnight. Like it's gonna be a bit of a process, and they're gonna work on it. And again, they're gonna play to his strengths, hopefully, and that's what they need to do.
Now let's flip to the other side. The Rush did end up pulling away, and I thought it was wild. Not only did they pull away, they covered the 2.5 that was on Coolbet, which is incredible. So they did pull away 16-13 in the end. But I want to focus again on the defense of that side because they had this, it was, at one point the score was 11-6, and that was it felt like a blowout 11-6. And somehow the Necks were down 14-13. Take me through what you saw from Chiliano and what you saw from the Rush defense. Did they let out the gas, or what? Or maybe Calgary found something?
Yeah, I didn't think Frankie played all that well in the second half.
Fair.
I think Frankie's the best when he's standing up tall and kind of moving side to side, and then when he
Right.
gets down, that's when he kind of gets in trouble. But no, I don't think the Sass deep. Again, when you get a lead like that, it's also like sometimes you change the way you look at the game, right? Like in that could have sparked a fire in Calgary, and they just started firing. But again, like
Right.
this is the NLL, you have to realize that teams can come back. So
Best of the best. Yep.
that's lacrosse, right? Like it's a game of runs, and that's how it is. So like I know this is gonna sound bad, but when you get up and you step, you just keep stepping on someone's throat. Like you don't stop.
Correct.
Like this is a league where you can't stop because Calgary showed what you can do when you let your foot off the gas. They come back, they make it a game, they almost win, and then. But again, I thought I didn't like the holding penalty late in the game
Mm-hmm.
that put kind of Calgary in a spot where they couldn't get a chance to tie the game. Like
So
yeah,
Liam
he took one.
LeClaire.
Like I think they called Salama on the hold like with 40 seconds left. I
Oh
want to
yeah.
say
So with 18 seconds, it says Liam
18.
LeClaire got cold for
Oh,
holding.
Liam LeClaire. Yeah, that's who it was.
And
Yeah,
then, like you said, within those 18 seconds was Zach Manson Messenger empty netters.
exactly.
So
So it
you're
was
right
like
about that.
you weren't scoring. Like once you go down there, the game's over. So again, yeah, it a penalty, maybe,
Sure.
but with 18 seconds left, just let the guys finish the game. Like it was
Mm.
it was a 14-13 game at that point. Like it wasn't
That's
for a hold. Like come on.
so it's interesting you say that because it's because Pat Gregoire ends up bringing up Jalen Hurts, and the reason he says how did Jalen Hurts was terrible last night. We already know this. My point. So the reason I bring that up
Because
is I
you can
come
see my Barkley jersey in the background.
oh gee no shame on you, sir.
I'm a Birds fan, bud. Go Birds.
Oh my gosh. Well, good thing Barkley came back down to earth, but this is an NLL show. Anyways, so I'm glad he actually brought up Jalen Hurts because you mentioned the penalty late, and I've seen in the NBA and the NFL a lot of fans will say, "Well, you can't call that late." I'm like, well, I mean, here's the thing: holding in lacrosse is like a subjective call. Like, they can say it happens on every play. And like you said, his was technically a penalty, but wasn't like because you've let him get away with it. Probably, it was odd. It was an odd play.
No, and I get like I think football is a very like different one because like again this is a lacrosse show, but a penalty in football is a penalty in football.
Well,
Most of the
pass
time.
interference is a spot foul. This right here, though,
It's tough.
you could let it slide. Well, it
I don't
affects
love
the
it.
play, you know.
It is, but it was called, and that's the way it goes.
Correct.
You watch the replay. Troy Cornley on the bench didn't love it either. So yeah,
There you go. There's some ammo for you. All right, so now let's get into our top 5 teams, or your top 5 teams. I'll remind the people that last week here your list was we post way too much on the show. Hold on. Your list, here it is. That's a lie. Anyways, I post whatever.
Buffalo at 1.
Well, look at you, Mr. Prepared. Here it is. Yeah, Buffalo, Vancouver, Sask, Rochester, Oshawa. How are we looking this week?
Yeah, I'll go Buffalo at 1 still.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna move Sask up. I'll go them with the 2 spot because I think their offense was firing, but I think their defense is gonna bounce back and be better.
Right.
I won't bump down Vancouver too much. I'll go them in the 3.
There you go.
I'll keep Roch in the 4 just because they haven't played.
Which sucks, but yeah.
New 5. I'm gonna put the Seals up into 5.
Okay, so you do like the fact that they kind of shut down Ottawa early.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just now that we've seen everyone but Rochester, and Philly, I guess, and Vegas, but.
I gotta tell people if the season ended today, on everyone's bingo card, Philadelphia's in, Vancouver's out. So for the record, there, in case we're all keeping track, everyone had that on their bingo card this year.
Yeah, but yeah, no, there's my top 5. I got San Diego coming up. I think their offense is good. if their defense can hold down and O'Rig and that can be what I know he can be, then they're going to be in good shape as well.
What is your thoughts on O'Rig potentially stealing the Big Rig nickname there?
He can have it. That's
that is until they call you.
If you ask Patty Gregoire, Dawson Theed's the Big Rig, so there's a few of them running around.
No, well, we gotta find a nickname for. I mean, Watso's good. You got like I know Tom. I called him Dylan Hess, the Hess truck. That was fun. We gotta find like maybe you could be the semi.
Yeah, I like that.
Semi's not bad. Semi Joel Watson. I like it. All righty. Thank you for your time once again. We're gonna have a way more games to get to next Tuesday, and
we got a full slate next week.
It's gonna be good stuff too because Rochester's in there. I'm interested. There's a couple of contenders playing some very good teams.
Yeah, I've already made my picks. I know who I'm taking. So
I'll be sure to text you afterwards because you went. I forgot what your record is now.
I was perfect this weekend.
That's right. So yeah, because you're 4-2. There you go. You did only one who chose Halifax. Good for you, sir.
In the nest, Halifax in the nest.
11-2. I don't think anyone saw coming, but you were.
No, no, I did not see that coming.
But hey, you did choose it, and there you go. Did you bet it or no?
No, I didn't. I didn't bet it. Cool bet's illegal.
That's. We'll tell the polar bears to lighten up a little bit.
For sure.
Thank you, Joel. Have a good one, man.
Take it easy, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, this show's gonna be awesome for the rest of time. So there you go, Joel Watson, of course, NLL goalie, GMO Junior A Warriors, Whitby. That's a mouthful. Whitby Junior A Warriors in the OJLL. Tonawanda Braves Can-Am goalie to keep himself ready. I also want to get to this because we're not going to on today's show. Apparently, word is getting around after this guy. I don't like the article style. I don't like when people cuss in their articles where they're reporting stuff, but there's an article saying the Canada Lacrosse, where's it at? Canada Lacrosse, Lacrosse Canada, excuse me, declared a deficit of $850,000 this year. Last year, it was only at $200,000. That's a little bit interesting. There's a lot of people that popped in my DMs after where I posted that, and they're not too happy about Lacrosse Canada and the way they operate things. So, something to keep an eye on. I am asking people this week to explain what the heck all this means to me, and maybe we can have another segment about it for like tomorrow or Thursday. But as an American, I have no idea. I'm sorry that happened. That's a lot to read. Like, did that mean where it's like, wow, I'm sorry that happened or happy for you? I don't know what's going on here. But literally that's how like French. That's how like German this stuff is to people like me. Like we have like no idea what you guys are talking about. But hope it works out, you know? All right. We come back, we're gonna do fresh fits. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
The comments never fail me. Pat Gregoire did mention Holding has to be a focus call. We've seen so many. You know, it's funny. I thought broadcasters knew that, like universally. I did hear John Fraser like mention it on the Calgary game, saying that it was a focus call. I don't know if all the broadcasters have caught wind of that, but he did say that, if I remember correctly. So there's that. Thanks, man. Like, what? No, I'm just tuning in, doing my finals. Well, finish your finals, please, Hunter. Good Lord. Well, yeah, I hope good for them. Good for Lacrosse Canada, and all that good stuff. Rest in piss. All right, here we go. Before we get to our Fresh Fits, we want to let you know our Fresh Fits is sponsored by the good people at our store. Reminder: it is that time of year, box lacrosse time. You want this mug with that digital box lacrosse. I think it looks good. I will link the store on our social medias. It already is on the Instagram, but Daily.LAX on Instagram, you can see it. But yeah. And of course, NL players, you can also get this, the box lacrosse time shirts. So there you go. And now it's time for Fresh Fits. I'm just kidding. That was Joel Watson. Alrighty. I want to let you know the first one I'm going to get to is going to be our broadcaster. There was only 40. Well, there was 5. Mackie Jenner. I didn't see Heather Morrison. That was weird. But Mackie Jenner wore the pinstripes. We had Pat Gregoire, Matt Cullen, John Fraser, and Cody Jansen. It's Pat Gregoire for this week. Back-to-back weeks for Pat Gregoire. He is the Fresh Fits winner of the broadcast. I'm not biased. I'm just saying he wore the most unique outfit. What was unique? That sounds mean. Like this is a nice suit. But I will say the competition for Pat. I'm sorry for the freeze frame, but the competition for Pat was not great. No offense to I thought about giving it to Mackie, but and I'm not biased here, but it's Pat. There you go. So again, the competition didn't really show out, but we're going to work on that. We're challenging the broadcasters to do better and try to get the merch like Pat did. All right, next up. Can I be honest, folks? So there are other places I can find Calgary Roughnecks player pictures for the record, player walk-ins. I'm not happy, though, with the way with Calgary's social media, because the rule here on Daily Dive Fresh Fits, I make my own little hypothetical rules. My rules are the social media team has got to post it. I can grab the good version from somewhere else, but I really want the social media team to do it, because part of this segment is giving praise to the social media and the team and the players. So I cannot reward the Roughnecks, but I mean, talk about bad competition. Liam LeClaire and the other 3 guys, sure, I'll give it to Liam, but I don't know who to choose here. It was not a good look for Calgary. This might have been their best players, but it wasn't that great, in my opinion. Nice suit, but cool. No, I did. I got you. Actually, it's funny. Now that you asked, on the back of this is our logo, the diving man, and then right here is the diving. Like, that's the logo. Like, we're not gonna. There's no reason to put Daily Dive, but I mean, that's why we did that. So it does have it on the back. But anyways, so Leo Leclerc, listen, nice suit, but I'm not gonna give you. I have a folder saved of the best fits of the year. This is not making it for the record. All right, next up. Now, Austin Shanks, full disclosure, did not win it this week for Saskatchewan. However, this photo, it looks like, oh crap, the PR person or media person is going to post me to the socials, and that guy on Daily Dive is going to roast me. Well, roast me for what? For what the heck are those, man? Nope, sir. Like, honestly, God, are we really doing the roll-ups? Like last week, what is this, man? It's like the turtleneck on the bottom of your leg, man. Like, what is this crap? This is awful. This is terrible. Like, First, we did the ankles. Then we did the ankles with the ankle socks. I mean, blah. You guys might as well do pantyhose or what are we doing, man? It is a nice look. And I've said it before, I will not be able to pull this look off. I also wouldn't try. It was Ryan Keenan for the Rush, for the record, though. Like, this is what, yeah. Well, I like that one. Anyways. No, I mean, I do love the angle that the Rush are giving here, though. That is Ryan Keenan, another son of the GM / coach. Like, there's Josh Dalek, Taggart Clark. What is the Sun Club? We got Ryan Keenan, Josh Dalek, Taggart Clark. There's other ones out there, though, right? So Ryan Keenan, though, I love the colors here because you got like the light gray, you've got the brownish maroon, I guess that is. You've got the navy, you've got the brown shoes, but it all blends together in a nice fall / winter color. Good for you, Ryan Keenan. And finally, the best fit of the week. Oh my, Senior Haas. So yesterday, myself and Pat Gregoire were raised a question, I believe by Loose Mesh. I'll have to clip that. But wow, that's fair. This Bo Boner might be on the practice squad, but I like that. Thank you. Please don't clip that. So yesterday, Loose Mesh asked the question, who would you rather go against, Mike Messenger or Graham Hossick? I was saying yesterday, Graham Hossick looks like a nice dude that'll still smash you into the board. Like, that's what Graham Hossick, he looks like a nice guy. But Mike Messenger looks like like the mustache, just like, yeah. So this right here, this is a nice man, okay? Until you look at his stat line, everyone's like, oh, whoa, wow, it's tough. But yeah, so there you go. Graham Hossick, I love the white suit with the orange Thunderbirds tie. Halifax always shows out for them. I think Mackie helps their socials. I'm not completely sure with that, but shout out to the Thunderbirds social media team for always showing their players, because those guys do dress well. Clark Peterson also dressed very well in week 2, but I gave it to Graham Hossick. The orange tie, I'll be honest, sold me right away. I mean, full disclosure, I have Asperger's, and I like colors that pop. It's weird, but that, you can easily win a fresh fits if you wear a nice thing without ankles, obviously, and they pop. I don't know what it is. It's unfortunate. There you go. And again, that was presented by Box Lacrosse Time, the new merchandise line found at our Daily Dive store. It's also not even that expensive, by the way. The US dollars on those things are $21.95 for the shirt, and then once it loads, I think it's $15.95 for the mug. It's not bad at all. You're welcome. We're not making much off it at all, believe me, because I think merchandise should be affordable. I know the NLL doesn't even have merchandise, but we do ours, and we're not gonna. I could price it at $30. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. Shirt for $22. It's not terrible. Yeah. Now the website is an internal server error. That's good. It's good to know. Really? Hey guys, go to our shop. What are we doing here? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planets. I am your host, Michael Carbellis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, and this show begins now. On today's awesome show, we're going to talk about the NLL Hall of Fame, why it comes up, and where is everybody? What is the league doing at this point? Next up, We're going to talk about creating the narrative. What do I think is going to happen? What do I think the storylines will be? What should you look out for? We're creating the narrative for the NLL in week number 3. And finally, stay tuned for my week 2 NLL Power Rankings. Alrighty, folks, let's now get into our first segment. I'm going to be talking about a potential or lack thereof, really, NLL Hall of Fame. Now, folks, why does this come up? Well, I'll be honest. Sometimes I dabble in listening to other shows, and really, I was listening to OTCB. The boys only did audio this week, even though I'm not happy with Teddy and Pat for that. The boys did only audio this week. And while I was listening on Spotify to OTCB, they were talking about Dane Dobbie heading to the Ring of Honor. Obviously, the Roughnecks are going to make him forever a Roughneck. But the topic came up, though, shouldn't there be also a 44 retired for Calgary? Like, wouldn't that make sense? They also talked about how Curtis Dixon, he already left for San Diego, and now he left for Vancouver, even though technically this time for Vancouver was because of his young family. But they started to talk about, retiring numbers, not just this Ring of Honor, but really making it to where no one else wore the number again. And unfortunately, some things come up for that, which makes it, it puts a roadblock in why that can happen. Number one, of course, is the owners of the arena not caring about the NLL. Pat Gregoire said he used to hate when he would go to Toronto Maple Leafs games, and he would also go to Toronto Rock games. He would see the Rock numbers in the rafters, but then they go to the Maple Leafs game and they're nowhere to be found. It's like, oh, that's a little bit interesting. And then another thing that comes up, besides just the owners maybe not caring about the NLL as much and recognizing it as just a tax write-off for their business at this point, another thing is the NLL always has teams relocate and fold. And so it sucks. But that's why I bring this up, because I feel like the NLL should feel even more obligated to do something about this. There's not much they can do. Of course, I'm not paid to be that creative. But folks, the NLL Hall of Fame, if you look on the NLL's website, and by the way, it is not a fun thing to find, by the way, like at all. But once you do find the Hall of Fame via NLL.com, folks, in the last 10 years, the NLL has nominated people to its League Hall of Fame twice. In 2016, and then again in 2021. But can someone explain to me in Brett Frude's office, can you explain why you haven't touched it in 4 years? And for those of you that want to say, well, Brett Frude's working hard, really? He's working hard. Guys, I get this offseason has been interesting. The CBA, of course, is the elephant in the room here. He had Rochester being sold. He had Oshawa shafting the city of Albany. I get it. But what about the previous 4 years, Mr. Commissioner? Guys, this is season 4 of this show. The last time the NLL touched the Hall of Fame was 2021. And I know Brett Frude was not there yet, but Brett Frude, you have done nothing. Nothing since then. Where's the love for the players? And then my favorite thing, and listen, I know there's going to be a lot of people that just are going to be so angry when I say, I don't care. What the heck is the NLL Alumni Club, respectfully? I know there's a lot of players and people on there that are on there. Great. What the heck does that mean? That's about as meaningless at this point as the NLL Unboxed. No one can explain what this is. like a place where a bunch of old guys can connect. Guys, they last named somebody August 28th. But again, what does that mean? You go to this little pool and you can join this club. Guys, you're not creating anything new by creating a new social club for old guys in lacrosse to reminisce about the old days. That's been a thing in 30 different other minor league. Like, there's so many times old guys can get together and think about how great everything was. But that does not honor them. Again, what the heck is the alumni club? It does nothing for the game. They have not mentioned it on the broadcast. They don't mention it on the website. So what does it do besides nothing? This is on Brett Frood's watch. So we can see how he had a busy offseason. Guys, we're in season 4 of Brett Frood and Daily Dive. Come on. So what's the answer? Again, shout out to Dane Dobie for being some Ring of Honor. But what if the Calgary Roughnecks do close up shop in 5 years? Like, what's going to happen? So long, Dane Dobie. Like, where's the honoring of the players? I don't understand it. Again, in a league where teams constantly fold and relocate, you're going to just ignore your Hall of Fame? Guys, in what other sports league do they literally ignore their Hall of Fame for 4 years and 8 of the last 10? It's unacceptable by everybody involved in that process. Like, I just don't, like, what am I supposed to do here? What is the like, do we know if anything been created? And again, what is the alumni club? Guys, oh my God. It's so badly run. You know what's on the top of their official Instagram page? Him. It's a pronoun. What does that even mean? The person creating the social media page didn't even know what the crap they were doing. What? Come on. It's stupid. It's laughable. I'm sick of every little thing. I mean, this league miserably fails at the dumbest things. Hall of Fame. They don't touch their Hall of Fame, and the alumni club has a pronoun at the top of their page. Oh my. So again, when you're referring to the alumni club, refer to it as sir. Like, what? You cannot justify that if you tried. But good for them, they get to play golf. Give me a break. This league cracks. It literally is amusing with what they try to get away with. And guys, so many media members allow this to happen. Okay? No one's going to talk about it. 8 of the last 10 years, you haven't touched your Hall of Fame. And the alumni club is referred to as he and him. Buzz off, man. That's unbelievable. That's borderline impressive how dumb that is. All right. When we come back, we're going to create the narrative, though, for week number 3 in the NLL. Shout out to the old guys.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Michael Day says my pronouns are no F's given. It's true. Welcome back, Michael Day. All right, so I just talked about the NLL Hall of Fame, or lack thereof at this point. Like, good Lord. Refer to the alumni club as sir. Shut up. Now we're going to create the narrative for week number 3. Now, this will be a more fun segment, I will admit. So what we're going to do is set the tone of the storylines for week number 3. We're going to talk about why, I'm like, just what you should watch for. Like, what should fans be interested in? I know for me, when I'm watching sports shows all week, it gets me motivated to what the heck? Hold on. The hair was annoying me. Okay, now we're back. It gets me annoyed. Well, not really annoyed. I want to watch NFL and NBA games because I watch other sports shows talk about it, so we're going to do that here. All right, so with that being said, let's get to our storylines for week number 3. Alrighty, so first off, I mentioned this kind of last week, even though these guys did not play, which is dumb on my part. Brandon O'Neill and CJ Kurse. Now, I did walk back my take. It was smart of me to do so, in my opinion. I did say last Monday that maybe CJ Kurse was already better than Brandon O'Neill. And then I realized, you know what? It probably wasn't smart because Brandon O'Neill's had 4 hat tricks last year, including 2 4 spots. So it didn't make any sense. So I had to walk it back. So now we're going to talk about this week. And I'm interested to see, because it's an interesting dynamic in who they play this week. So Brandon O'Neill of the Philadelphia Wings is going to play against the Colorado Mammoth, okay? Now, the Mammoth just shut down the Vancouver Warriors offense in the tune of 10-7. Like, they allowed 7 goals against guys named Curtis Dixon, Jesse King, Keegan Ball, Peyton Cormier, Marcus, a bunch of guys. Adam Charlin-Beatties, the whole crew. They got held to 7 goals. That's not a lot. So, can Brandon O'Neill step it up? We know Joe Resetarits is going to do his thing for the Philadelphia Wings. We also know the Philadelphia Wings might be the first game of their last season. It might be. There's a very strong consensus now that could be the case after Joe Tsai helped them out for another year. But this team's on the way out. So can Brandon O'Neill step up, knowing that he has control of the right side, being the lead lefty? I'm very interested to see how he looks from year 1 to year 2. CJ Kurse will play host to Calgary. Now, Calgary Roughnecks, last week ago, they just played at Saskatchewan and lost 16-13. Now, their offense looked good. Their defense did not at all. And so now the fact they're going from Saskatchewan back over to Toronto, I'm very curious if their defense will be even worse, and it probably will be. So, will Brandon O'Neill or CJ Kurse score more goals? And who will have more true points? By true points, I mean goals and primary assists. We don't count hockey assists because, again, I like the tic-tac-toe points, but I don't like the throw the ball, wait 30 seconds until your other guy shoots. That's just lame to me. So, who's going to have the better game? Who do you think will? Drop it in the comments. Next storyline we're going to get to as we talk about our creating the narrative here are the contenders. So this week, the 3 contenders are playing, and by 3 contenders, I mean Buffalo, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver. Those were teams that, people talk about Halifax and Rochester, but these 3 teams are the ones where everyone's like, yo, they're going to be great again, okay? Buffalo plays host to Halifax, one of those sleeper teams. Saskatchewan plays at Ottawa, and Vancouver hosts Las Vegas. I'm interested to see, as we all should be, Which of those teams makes the biggest statements? It's a big deal. So I'm very, again, intrigued. I will be looking forward to tuning into these games. Again, these games, by the way, in case you're wondering, Sask is at Ottawa Friday at 7:30. Buffalo is versus Halifax Saturday at 7. So Friday 7:30, Saturday at 7. And then Vancouver versus Las Vegas Saturday at 10. So think about that. You have a chance to watch all three of these games separately. And I know it's 7 o'clock. There were 3 games going on pretty much. But I do think Buffalo-Halifax will be the marquee matchup of those 3 games. So, Saskatchewan to Ottawa, Buffalo hosting Halifax, and Vancouver hosting Las Vegas. Who makes the biggest statements? All right, a couple of comments here. Neglected Banana, welcome back, sir. This feels like the end of the Wings. It is. Since they're not allowed in their new arena, correct. At least the Calgary Roughnecks, that is true. They are allowed in their new arena, at least for the next few years for sure. That's for sure. And again, the thing with Calgary, I'll just say it one last time here, is Calgary, they can fill their barn to the gills, but if concerts are going to be more expensive and still do the same thing, that's an issue for the Roughnecks. We will see how that transpires, but Philadelphia, as I reported first, and many others followed suit, Philadelphia is 1,000% in trouble unless a miracle happens. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. And then Neglected Banana says, Ottawa seems like they might move. We'll do that next time. We're not doing the relocation talk. I'm just saying we're creating the narrative here for these games. All right, next up for these games, we're now going to talk about two different sides of the ball, okay? So again, Brendan O'Neill, CJ Kurse, who has the better game. Of the contenders, Buffalo, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver, who makes the biggest statements. And now, Rochester's defense is playing at San Diego. Now, the Seals just played a game in Ottawa where they made the Black Bears look silly. Early on, the Black Bears offense was not good. Dan McRae said, hey, our guys were not locked in, which I think was a big deal for that team. But now Rochester comes in. I don't think Rochester's offense is going to struggle. But can Rochester's defense take a big step? Because to be frank, the last 2 years, I know Ryan Hartley has missed he's missed half a season every year except for 1 year. I know Ryan Hartley's health is a massive deal. That being said, since Ryan Hartley's healthy to start this year, can Rochester's defense not be as big of an Achilles heel as it has been for this team? That's a big story. Again, we know Rochester's offense will be fine. Can their defense hold up its end of the bargain even just a little bit? And finally, Oshawa's offense at Georgia. Quite frankly, I know Buffalo's got a great offense, but Buffalo really stuck it to Georgia very well. They did not miss Chase Fraser and Chris Cloutier. You cannot convince me that the addition of Ryan Benesh was the reason why. So can Oshawa Firewolves, after having scored 10 goals in just 2 games, can Oshawa bounce back at Georgia and get a victory? Or not even a victory. Folks, can Oshawa score 10 goals? At this point, I would be very impressed if Oshawa at least scored 10 goals. Now, if they lose, it's also a big story. But I think if they lose and they score less than 10, they're in a heap of trouble. I think if they win and they score 8 or 9, they're still in a heap of trouble. Oshawa needs to have a 10 spot and they need to win. So again, Rochester's defense and Oshawa's offense. How do those two teams look in their respective games? And that was creating the narrative for week number 3. Thunderbirds. I know Warren. Listen, in case you're new to the NLL, Warren Hill has great games, like quite frequently. They just have like once every 5 to 7 games. So, Bears Thunderbirds might be game of the week. In fact, let me go and see what I think. I don't know if that's game of the week. I'm gonna see what I think. Sask at Ottawa. You've got Colorado at Philly, Calgary at Toronto, Halifax at Buffalo, Oshawa, Georgia, Las Vegas. I feel like that's okay. So I like how Halifax at Buffalo hypothetically is game of the week. Rochester, San Diego is also a good one. I think Las Vegas and Vancouver also sneaky game of the week, but yeah, Halifax Buffalo makes sense. I can say that. You'll see with my picks later on in the week why I'm not too concerned with this game, but hypothetically and in theory, Halifax and Buffalo should be a very competitive game. We'll see. All right, that's creating the narrative for week 3. When we come back, I'm giving my power rankings heading into the week. You don't want to miss that. As we wrap up the show, you're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. So far on today's show, I first ripped into the NLL and their lack of respect for great players in their league, considering again they have only touched their NLL Hall of Fame twice in 10 years, and the alumni club is literally a half joke. I then talked about the narratives for week number 3 that fans should look out for, the week 3 storylines. I mentioned that Brian O'Neill and CJ Kirst, who will have a better game. Brian O'Neill plays Colorado, CJ Kirst plays Calgary. Contenders, Buffalo, Saskatchewan, and Vancouver, who makes the biggest statements. Rochester's defense at San Diego and Oshawa's offense at Georgia could be a very intriguing thing. And now it's time for my NLL power rankings. Now, across the bottom of your screen, we're going to scroll the standings currently. And again, I'll say it, and hopefully no one tweets this before I do. I forgot to yesterday. If the season ended right now, and we had to do the playoffs tomorrow, did you know Philadelphia would make the playoffs and Vancouver would be out? I'm just saying. It's so everyone drew it up. Yes, that was me trolling. Okay. Before we get to my power rankings, I want to remind you that Joel Watson, who comes on the show every Tuesday, to break down goalies. Also gives you his top 5 teams. And this week, he went Buffalo, Saskatchewan took a jump, Vancouver dropped to 3, Rochester at 4, the Seals jumped into number 5. I thought that was interesting that he didn't put Halifax, but hey, good for Joel. Now, my power rankings, let's get to 14-9. My teams were hypothetically missing the playoffs. Calgary stays at 14. I really wanted to give them a quality loss, but I ultimately chalked it up to Saskatchewan taking their foot off the gas. So I kept Calgary at 14, Philadelphia at 13, Ottawa at 12, San Diego at 11, Las Vegas down to 10. I brought Halifax up 2 spots to number 9. Good for them. I still think their offense was absolutely pathetic, and the fourth quarter did nothing for me. Halifax has a serious problem on offense, and their defense is really awesome for that one game, but I'm not sure that's sustainable what they did against Oshawa. Alrighty, next up, number 8, Colorado stays put after a big win against Vancouver. Number 7, Toronto. Number 6, Georgia stays put. Oshawa does fall because they did lose. Rochester jumps up to 4. Saskatchewan, Vancouver, Buffalo. Now, I knew this question would come up. How is Halifax below Oshawa? Guys, I don't know if you can read the graphic. I had Halifax at number 12 or 11 to start the year. So absolutely, I take full pride in saying, my bad, I thought Halifax was not good to start. So them barely scoring is not an issue. And Oshawa also won a game in week 1. So that does matter. We'll see how this weekend looks. I promise you, Halifax fans, you're going to want to hold your horses on hating after 1 week. I promise you that. Because when you guys go to Buffalo, you're going to have a hell of a time. I'll just say that. All righty. That's the show for today. We'll beat it up on social media later. Again, reminder, you should refer to the NLL Alumni Club as him, or sir, or he. So stupid. All right, folks, that's it for today's show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Carvelis. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025, and this show begins now. On today's awesome show, the PLL start date has been moved up. Dawson Nielsen first talked about this. Dan Aresti and others are now confirming it. What does it mean for lacrosse and the NLL? We'll break it down and have some fun with Paul Rabel. Then we're going to get to our guests. Probably one of our biggest guests of all time is Chase Fraser will join us in about 10 minutes or so. And we're going to welcome back in Tim Dillon, our local loading fanboy, as he'll talk face-offs, the upcoming weekend headlines, etc. So let's do our first segment here about the PLL. Dawson Nielsen had been kind of teasing this a bit. We kind of collabed on a video post where Brett Dobson was kind of talking about the schedule a little bit. Could the NLL move to summer? It would be very beneficial if the NLL did. Can the PLL work together with the NLL? And dare I say that, I know Dawson said this, but I don't know if moving the schedule up and extending the season towards the end of, towards September is necessarily a great thing for NLL players. We know Tom Schreiber, I believe both of his last big injuries have come in the PLL. I could be wrong on that. Correct me. I'll take the loss there. But so many guys in the PLL that play both were kind of injured going in. I also want to give a big I don't know what the reasoning is why Josh Byrne has left the Carolina Chaos. I know the Chaos released him to the player pool, and it's like no one's going to pick him up. We know there's been a boatload of Bandits leaving. Many of them played at Six Nations or wherever else, getting paid probably more there than they do at the PLL, obviously. We know that Andy Towers, who's a friend of this show, who I've had on the show multiple times, him and his whole coaching staff left the Carolina Chaos. So it is weird, the dynamic the NLL and the PLL have. I don't know if that's specific to Bandits players, but it is a little bit interesting. See, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it's Frick. He says Josh left for a bigger bag of cash. Yeah, absolutely. But like the PLL moving up, though, again, I know Dawson of Loose Mesh has said, they're trying to work together. I'm like, Dawson, you got to read the tea leaves. And I know, obviously there are people who want this to work. I'm not denying that. But I've seen Paul Rabel, the way he moves, way too much. And it reeks of a guy who could give a Beavers bridge about the National Lacrosse League. I put on a tweet saying, Brett Fruit's been to quite a few PLL games in the last year or two. When's the last time Paul Rabel went to an NLL game? And then Joe Watson, friend of the program, commented saying he knew that Paul Rabel was at the Dogs game when they played the Seals in that outdoor game in 2023. The NLL should bring back the outdoor game, not just because of Paul Rabel, but because I thought it was a great thing. But I thought it was very interesting, though, that the last time we saw Paul Rabel was at an outdoor thing. It was kind of like, PLL. Like, so Frick also says, but we don't know that. Like, the NLL, sorry. But this doesn't make any sense, though. If we're saying the leagues are working together, the PLL going sooner and ending later is not them working together. It doesn't make any sense. Because, guys, I'll say it again. There are people out there who are trying to push the narrative of the NLL moving to summer. It's not going to happen for the next at least few years. It's not. I've talked to too many people who think that it will eventually happen, but it's such a seismic shift. The NLL just got through a CBA. They're not going to do that right now. So I'm not getting into the NLL part of this. And what I'm looking at is the PLL is saying, screw the NLL once again. They are starting earlier and ending later. And people want me to believe the PLL actually cares? Like, sell me something out, man. Sell me something else. But good for the PLL. Like, I disagree that field lacrosse helps grow box lacrosse. I think anybody who says that, I'm like, we've tried field lacrosse for years. Okay, like the box lacrosse has been in the shadows when it's the better product. And field lacrosse, like there's a reason why the PLL does a shorter shot clock now, because they understand the attention span, just like the MLB. And so I don't think field lacrosse growing is helping the NLL because it's two completely different things. The only difference they have is you score by putting balls in the back of a net, and they have sticks in their hands. Like I don't think field and box are, at least from a viewer's experience, are not the same. One feels like soccer, one feels like all my favorite sports combined into one super baby. So like, whatever. Like, again, good for the PLL, but I think we're far away from Summer League in the NLL, and I think the PLL moving their dates earlier and later, it's like, well, good for y'all. I don't see how you care. Whatever. I tried to watch the. I can't do it, guys. I've tried. So, whatever. All right, everyone knows my thoughts on Paul Rabel. Okay, let's get out of the way now. Okay, we'll be fine. Let's see a break. When we come back, we're talking to Chase Fraser, who I feel bad because this is not the Pat. This is like such a far fall off from the Pat McAfee show, but we're going to try it anyways. We're going to try our version of the Chase Fraser interview. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I am Michael Carvelis. That is Sicko himself. Chase Fraser, how are you, sir?
Great, man. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Thank you. This is awesome. How dare you? This is not the Pat McAfee show, but we're going to try our best, man.
All right, let's do it.
So the bio says, I got 3-time NL champion. We'll get to that. Sicko goal scorer. Shout out to Teddy Jenner. 151 career goals in the regular season at this point, and you're now with the Desert Dogs. Good stuff, man. By the way, and we're going to get to a game preview, but y'all are in Vancouver now, right? Like
we're heading to Vancouver tomorrow. Play that.
Oh, so okay. But how's it? Are you excited to be back home? Because I believe you're from Vancouver, right?
Yeah, I'm from just Langley, just outside of Vancouver. So yeah, now being back on the West Coast, it's gonna be nice. Easier for my family to come see me play now, and it's only a 2-hour flight from Vancouver to Vegas. And
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, better than like the 4.5 to Buffalo, or then doing all that.
Yeah, it's a lot. That I never travel's an interesting thing in this league. All right, so we got to just shake the dust off immediately, sir. I swear to God, this is an inside joke at this point. I've reacted to it. I posted on the reels. Everyone thought I hated Chase Fraser. I don't. How in the world, do they vote you? What biggest bitch? I mean, last year, ha ha ha, very funny guys, and this year they don't want to play with you more than other guys. Like, come on, man. What does that feel you, or how do you feel about that?
I laugh at it. I honestly, it frustrates my brother more than it frustrates me, because he'll screenshot it and text me. He'd be like, "Yo, what are these people saying?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's just it's comical, because it's like the Lax Mag, they send out their polls to 5 players on each team, and I'm just thinking." So I was talking to Chris about it when it came out. And I was like, "All right, so you take the Dogs off that, and you take the Bandits off that, and then you go." Everybody else is voting because they don't want to play with me. I'm like, Jesus, it's kind of harsh. You guys don't want to play with me, but then it's just funny. And then I get all my friends that see that and they text me and go, "Hey man, you're actually a beauty and a great guy. I love playing with you." I'm like, I know, man. It's the guys in my own locker room that love me, and the guys in the other locker room that have no idea of how I actually work.
I don't think the Buffalo Bandits let you in that ring ceremony if you're not a liked guy.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but come on now. So I mean, I had to get that out of the way. But let's go to the Bandits' career. Just briefly here. You guys, you helped win the last 3. You went to 5 though, and I think that as a LeBron fan, to me, that matters, getting there in the first place.
Yep.
So just explain those 5 incredible years for y'all.
Man, it's crazy because then you got to think like, yeah, it was 5, but there was half season with COVID, and then the one we missed. So it's like, do you
Right.
really think that we could have been in the last 7? Maybe
Woo!
like
The last
like would it
6,
have been a
yeah.
little difference? Like, yeah, but no, it was nuts. We've all talked about, like, I guess the group of guys there talked about like the beginning too, like losing the first 2 and just kind of like how that was, and it was a learning experience, like
Right.
massive learning experience for us. My first year in the league, we didn't even make playoffs. Like, I was in and out of the lineup, like as a rookie, wasn't even playing. Like, that was 2017-18 season.
Wow.
Lost to Rochester our last game of the year, and then they ended up getting to the finals or something close like that,
Ooh.
and then losing to Jor or something. I don't remember. But all right, my first year, yeah, we didn't even make playoffs. Second year came in, just JT took over the head coaching and just went from there, and the guys bought into the system, and we had a really good season. I think we went 15-4.
Ooh. 14. Yeah.
Or whatever, 14-4. Set like a
Won a lot of
franchise.
games.
Yeah, we set a franchise record that season, and went into playoffs, doing our thing, and I guess got to the finals, and then was absolutely surprised about what Calgary brought to us, and lost that game,
Yeah.
lost that series in 2, and that one hurt. That definitely hurt. But the one that hurt the most was losing again.
Colorado,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, Colorado won, and we go through the off season through that one. Come into that 19 and 20 happened with COVID, year off.
Oh,
Yeah, don't need to talk about that again.
ridiculous.
I'll leave that one in the past.
Yes.
And then that Colorado, yeah, came in. We had a year and a half off of everybody training and kept our same core. Like, our group chat was still buzzing that
That
whole
was
time.
great. Yes.
Which is wild of how we were able to keep that same team over that time period. Come in, and again, I think we might have done no, it wasn't a great season that time. Well, I'm trying to think. Did we do great for like regular season wise? Maybe. But yeah, no, playoffs were a bit different that season. I know we we lost. No, we rolled through playoffs that year. Rolled through playoffs. That was the year we smacked Rochester in the first round.
Oh,
Absolutely handed it to Toronto in game 1 and 2. And then walked into the playoff round 3, game 1, 1-goal game. Game 2, lost in Colorado. Game 3, then we get blown out in Buffalo. And that one was just like, damn, we got blown out in front of our own fans to lose. That hurt everybody. Like, that cut deep. That was something that when we came back in 23, because we lost in 22, we came back in 23, and it was just everybody was, yeah, we're coming to work. And rolled in. JT had his practice plans. We started our preseason training in, what was it? Like, we had stuff to do at the end of September. Like, we were like, yo, you're working out, sending in your running times and stuff in September. Came through, and that first one, I actually missed the first half of this season because I was out with my hips.
4 games, yeah.
Yeah, I had hip surgery that year. Came back, and yeah, ended up coming in at the right time. We had injury problems that whole season with guys going in and out. Josh with his things, Dane with his things, Chris with his things, and then our defense with all our subtle things. And then that was a very character kind of win. That was a gritty one. Like the other ones 2 years before we got to the finals, just kind of got our way there. That season we had to work to get to the finals, which gave us that extra edge in there. And as soon as we were able to win that one, it was...
Albany was a frisky little team, though.
Yeah, for the second one, when we beat Albany, that was an intense. Going to Albany for us not hosting game 1 of the finals that year was just like, okay, we got to go to Albany, play there, bus back, and play the next day. For us, I actually think like we were kind of fired up for it. Like, we were like, all right, let's get this out of the way. Let's do it. Let's go. Like, because we were just we were hot. Like, I felt good. And I remember rolling into game 2 of that Albany series in Buffalo the next day, just like with just a certain vibe about every single guy that walked in the locker room, and then we go out there and do our thing with Albany and have good fun in that game. Yeah, it was a little close, but we we had, I don't know, goal runs. They'd catch goal runs, but we ended up on top the whole
They
time.
keep it close. Like they like to play the lower pace and make sure they're getting under people's skin.
Yeah, they do all that. Yeah, and Simmons was doing his thing.
Woo.
Simmons in that game 1 had one of the nastiest bouncers I've ever seen in my life. And like
I
his
love
just where he
Simmer.
came off and shot from the left side, had Vino going completely. I was just like, holy shit. Like that's hard to do.
He's good.
Yeah.
I like him. He's
I
also
like-
he's a charismatic guy too.
Yeah, I like him too. He's got good hands, good ball player. And then just
Last
I think
year,
it was
he-
like in that the Albany one, it was after that hidden ball goal. with
Oh,
me and Josh
yeah.
did that one. I pulled that. I was like,
Wow.
okay, I was like, okay, we got this one too. Like we
Repeat.
got it. And we got lucky enough and did everything with management keeping that team together to be able to go again last year for 3.
Mm.
And then that was intense. I guess coming in last year, first round was who
I should
was
know
first
this.
round?
I should check that.
I should know who the first round was last year too.
It's only
San
one
Diego.
game.
San Diego, the lowest
Oh,
score,
Whoa,
5-4.
ho- yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Right. So which is insane. Of like you got 2 really good goalies, like O-Riggs and Vino back there, and you're like, all right, cool. Like also 2 very powerful offenses, and there's only 9 total goals being scored in that game is insane. Which is
And
also
they-
like
they
you look
think
at that, and like one bounce goes one way, one bounce goes the other. It could be 5-4 opposites, and we're not even in the
ridiculous.
finals again. Like it's
Well, Georgia 2 years ago, like, I'll give them the Swarm credit. They were hanging tough with y'all.
same thing than the overtime winner with Bernsey. Like that was
Woo.
that was again. So it's like our last 2 ones in Buffalo. The game 1s were stressful, and
Yeah.
and then last year it was different going against Colorado, or not Colorado, Vancouver, because they had Delbs. Finally got Delbs. They beat us.
Yeah.
They beat us the last time we saw them in the regular season. So it's like, okay, they got this groove with us. But at the end of the day, it was us playing bandit playoff ball.
Yeah.
And
Y'all good at that.
yeah, and kind of game 1, I know it's kind of tough coming into for like a semifinals, especially coming into Buffalo. It's tough to play there, and we did our thing. And then in Vancouver, Vancouver's kind of a tough place to play. Like if you're not
Interesting.
from there, or for me, because I'm from Vancouver and like I'm not for Vancouver.
You know
it's like
what to expect.
I know what to expect, but like you think like Vancouver, their crowds used to not be great, but last year in their
Getting up
playoffs,
there.
like when we were there, it was like 10,000 people. Like their lower bowl
Yeah.
was packed, and like it was an
It's
intense
harder
game
to
for
hear.
game 2. Yeah,
That's-
no, absolutely. And then
Was Saskatchewan your of the last 3, were they like you think the biggest like tallest opponent you think y'all played? Or you think all 3 presented different challenges?
they were all 3 different challenges, man. It was
You couldn't really put them one above. It was like, man, all y'all are paying the butts.
Yeah, it was no matter what, we were going there. We were going to work. Like it wasn't nothing. Yeah, it was
They
all
were a brick
different
wall. You're knocking
strategies.
them down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Another wall we got to run through and just do that. But I'd say last year it was when we lost to Colorado in that the first one we won. The
Right.
difference between the year before when we lost to Colorado, the year that they beat us,
Right.
like for game 2, we kind of just individually kind of like panicked and just kind of like, okay, we'll take our own time and do our own thing. But the year we beat Colorado, when we lost to them in Colorado, it was like all right, guys, cool, we lost that one. Now go put your stuff in the hotel room. We're gonna go grab some food, eat, just talk about it. As soon as we're done talking about it, it's over, figure it out, go into next week and work it. And that one worked way better. So last year when we lost in Sask game 2, it was the same thing. It was all right, everybody. Yeah, this one sucked because we were so close to winning it, and then in Sask,
11 to 10. Yeah.
yeah, just it was all right, cool. This one stings a bit, but go put your stuff. We're gonna rip over to Cactus. Everyone's going out to team dinner. We're gonna talk about it. Go back to the hotel. Wake up in the morning. Get back home. And get back to work. And that's exactly what we did. And then came back and then did our thing for game 3.
Okay. I mean, like you guys led 9-8 to end the third quarter of that game. Yet they ended up winning. Then I keep telling people the first half of game 3 was like 7-6, and it was like, what were y'all going to do? In the second half, I was like, oh my god, like hello 3-peats.
Yeah.
What Can you describe how the halftime locker room was for that?
We were like, it's that calm, good vibe kind of thing that I was talking about.
Good.
Just like, all right, we know what we're gonna do. We got JT coming in telling us what our offense is gonna do. Chugger telling us what our defense is gonna do, and then Vino kind of just manning everything. Like,
Oh
no,
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
like I need this, this, and this, and then in that third quarter, when you see Vino starts just seeing the ball he was seeing, and you're like, all right, cool, let's go do this. Like, let's
Right.
let's go have some fun. And when like for me, when I'm playing and I see Vino in that groove, that lets me loosen up a bit. I'm like, all right, I can do some crazy stuff. So that's when the one-handed backhand came in, and then it was good. Yeah.
And then Pat McAfee showing the rest is history.
Yeah.
Just one more thing to put a bow on the Bandits. What was it like being there one last time with the guys as that banner goes up?
Oh, it was awesome. Me and Chris walked down to the tunnel, got there before, like got there at 6:50, right when everyone was coming off the floor from official warm-ups, and it was like, oh, like everyone was so fired up to see us. It was sweet. They all go out, see the banner going up. Not gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed. Like it was an emotional kind of experience going out there in front of the sold out 19,000 Bandit fans, just how it normally is. What a last time to like be there representing the Bandits and experience that. And then me and Chris and his wife and our buddy, we were up top in like the suite section area, just hanging out, taking pictures with some kids, some fans, just doing a couple of meet and greet kind of things, but just watch the game and enjoyed the environment. And then went out with the team for a bit afterwards, and then did that celebration. They're able to put the final nail in that coffin and then move on to the dog season.
How hard? So now let's go to the Dogs. How hard was it? I know Kluche said I think Dan Duziak was the guy who interviewed him. He was saying that he wanted to stay. I'm sure you've had similar feelings. The new CBA, I'm sure, helped incentivize some things as well. How hard was it not to go for you and even for him?
And it's a very tough decision. I've said it a couple of times, just other people, just in casual conversations. It was tough because it's like the bond that we all kind of created over these past 7 years, in a sense, right? Like Josh and I got drafted together.
That's crazy.
Used to hate each other and then became best friends as soon as we got drafted to each other or with each other, and then came through the following year, added Ian. And then Chris got thrown in there next year, throwing Hogue. So it's like our core, like it's right there. We all hung out, we did everything together. But yeah, no, that decision to leave was not easy. It was just of like everything that organization has done for me personally. The support from the fans, the environment, the city in general. It's tough to like walk away from, but spending 7 years there, it was able to be like, all right, I did my time. Gave back to the community. The community gave me so much to hold on to, close to my heart for the rest of my life. And then it was also one of those, like, I needed change personally. I needed
Buffalo and Philadelphia, like they're let's talk about Philadelphia sports in general, but like the fan bases are so annoying. But I'm sure when you're a player there, that's got to be wickedly sweet. That's
even going to like I went to university in Philly for 2 years, just outside, and just like that whole Philly's sports atmosphere, it sucks you in, like, right? It was cool. Went from there, and then going from being in Philly's sports area to then going to Buffalo, it was just like, holy smokes. Fans. Like, it's
great sports fans.
Great places to be if you love sports.
Absolutely. So with the Dogs, obviously Jack Hanna's there. I'll just say that. Blanket statement. Mitch Jones joins the fray. How cool is it knowing that you guys potentially have two superstars? Just like, how fun is that? I know Josh and Dane, like, kind of like everything kind of like just settles down in your head, but like Mitch and Jack are not too bad.
No, Mitch, so my rookie year, Mitch was on the Bandits.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he was there. He was kind of like, he's first couple years in the league for him. So he was that adjustment period of like where he was finding his niche. And then ended up going to Vancouver. So I was lucky enough to get a year with him there. And then now, from now and then, Mitch is a completely different player.
Correct.
And a completely different person. Like it's awesome. And this fun thing, he's on that list as well. He's just at the bottom. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. You got two guys that are on that list that are on the same team that are actually like get along with everybody. Like it's funny. Like we're all good jokes in the locker room, but no, happy to be fired up playing with Mitch, and I hope this Jack Hanna situation works out because with that guy's bounce and his speed and the amount of space that I'm able to create for people, it's just going to give him so much more time, or would give him so much more time to be as athletic as he is.
The Sports Center from you and Jack is going to be ridiculous this year if y'all both play.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Because I know, like, I got a little bit of a float to me when I jump, but that guy soars. Like,
oh my God, yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah.
And then Kluche joining it, like I said before, like just tell me how that feels knowing there's a little bit of Buffalo coming with, like a little bit.
Yeah,
both got championship pedigree.
That's my guy, right? We played Bandits together. We played Chaos together. We won one with the Chaos together. We played Allegheny Summer Ball together. So we've been on every single team for the past 6 years. No matter what level we're playing at, it was always that. So him just we talked about the transition because we had like throughout free agency, we had a couple similar teams that were reaching out to us and all that. So with me and Chris, we were pretty open about what's going on each other's lives with each other to keep it simple,
right?
So yeah, we talked about everything, about all kind of different avenues of how this could work out, and just us coming to Vegas.
He got a phone call.
Us coming to Vegas.
There we go.
Yeah, was the best fit for both of us, and so fired up to be able to do it with one of my best friends.
Now, real quick, do you think if he would have gone somewhere, do you think it was incentivized? Like, were y'all both going to the same place all along, or do you think like y'all could have gone separate ways? Do you think this is pretty much how it's had to be?
I think there was a chance that we could have went opposite ways.
Fair.
Like absolutely slim, but it could have happened with certain things going certain ways and all that. But I don't know like the complete logistics side behind everything that he was going through with free agency. Like I know the majority of it, but there's some things you obviously don't know.
It feels good now.
Yeah, no. So now we're both very happy. He finally moved down here on Monday, so I've been helping him all week just get his apartment and stuff figured out. Like he's got no furniture, so he's been sleeping on my couch or in my spare room here.
Guy.
Yeah, hanging out. So he's doing the work.
All right. So now, how's the off-season? How's the camp been for you guys? I know you said there's a little bit of chemistry with Mitch Jones already there. How are you guys feeling just leading up to the game one?
No, it's really good actually. Like we started clicking really good like right away. Like our first weekend down in camp was down in Vegas, and we had like our inter squad scrimmage, and we played a 30-minute running time game and scored like 19 goals as an offense. So we're like, okay, like we can move the ball and swing it.
There you go.
And then just kind of needed to figure out like the logistical things behind that. And then we got Hickey, who is running our offense coordinator right now.
There you go.
Who is on the ball with everything. Like the film cut-ups are going in, different aspects of different defenders and just our different sets in certain different situations. Then you got Boldy sending us goalie clips on Delbs and all that, like our defense. It's crazy. We had a whole team meeting on Tuesday with like our whole scout that we're going over. Man, just like this is awesome. Like everyone's getting involved, everyone's talking conversations. It's good vibes that we got going on out in Vegas.
You met Steve Nash or Dustin Johnson or any of those guys, or mostly Josiah?
Haven't met those guys yet.
You met Josiah?
No, I haven't actually.
Come on, soon though.
Yeah, I think he'll come out.
I'll expect him before the other guys, to be fair.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
He's a lacrosse guy. Couple questions here, and then we'll get on to that game one preview and let you go. Michael Day says, what kind of music does a man named Sicko listen to during pregame? It's not bad.
Kind of not what you would expect. I listen to some lower pace, like I'll listen to some old country music, like some Alan Jackson, like all that kind of just. I like a good like fiddle, violin, some little trumpets in there. Throw some jazz music in there sometimes, just to like get it calm. That's like walking to the arena. I'm just like not numbing, but just relaxing the nervous system.
I like that.
And then once like the headphones come out, then it's listening to like what's on in the locker room, and that's just I listen to all kinds of music, man. But there's certain stuff at certain times that just I love like a good slow, good beat, just like stuff that you can feel, you know.
90s R&B, like
sometimes, yeah.
So no singular song though.
No particular song. You
Fair
know,
point.
you got to throw a Rob Zombie in there sometimes, but
There you go. How many goals has Chase Frazier scored against Kyler Goalie? Is it like over one game? We'll go one game.
over
Kyler
Kyler Goalie. Oh, is that? Oh, he just did
the Swarm kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you want to test it out, buddy? Just I'll rip some rubber by your ear.
There you go. What Frick says? I'm sorry. Captain says, what are the boys doing on bus trips? Like
movies, cards. Sometimes you get if it's like a long one, we'll bring the old Xbox out there, the old gaming system, and get a TV. We've had that on there on the bus.
Nintendo DS,
something like that. Just card games, movies, the classics. Got to throw Miracle on there every once in a while.
Oh, gee. Frick reported about Amesbury. I forgot who this guy is. He's like a Diamond Hands, whatever the crap.
Oh, yeah. Diamond Hands.
Whatever, man. I'm not into that lore. Finally, one more question, then I'll get to the preview of the game. Our buddy Tim Dillon wants to know about you and Hammer Jackson. I guess you're a loading guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a loading guy.
This show.
Loaded, baby.
Free advertising again.
Me and Hammer, we're really good buddies. Really good buddies. Played junior together, grew up playing against each other, played Team VC Nationals together. We ended up being roommates for them, and that's when our friendship kind of kicked off. We were 17 years old in Edmonton, watching Wicked Tuna, hanging out, just
oh my lord.
Yeah, way back when. And then kind of from there, just became really good buddies. And then here we go again with COVID. COVID happened, took all the freedom to kind of hang out with all your friends and all that stuff. So the basic rules in Vancouver where we were at is you're only able to see your friends if it was work related. So Tyrell was like, all right, let's make a business. Let's do this so we can like hang out. And I was like, all right, cool. So we started off with started the loading, but it was like face-off control that he was doing. So I was out there doing that and then that led to the grips. Grips lead to loading, and then we're designing shafts, doing all that kind of stuff. Then I head back to Buffalo, and then him and Jordan McBride are just hammering that out, and now we got
that's right.
A bunch of shafts, couple heads, the Tonka releasing.
Yeah, have you gotten your hands on the Tonka?
I've seen the Tonka. Yeah, it's a good hand.
Have you played with it?
Play with it. It's a D head. No, not yet.
Tyson Bell got a goal with it, right?
Oh, he did get the first goal with the Tonka in there. But yeah, no, it's one thing about these heads is the plastic that he's using is insane. Like the face shape stays the same. You want to slash somebody with this Tonka, it's a sturdy one. Like Chris took one of the couple of guys on our team are using them, and we're doing our 5-on-5 sets, and Chris takes a poke check from somebody. He's like, oh, that head did not bend whatsoever. It was like one of those. They're strong. They're good. And
your chest plates, man.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
That's right.
No.
Let's get to how many goals are you going to score on Delbs? I'm kidding. What is the how are we feeling about this game? I know people think Vancouver's going to bounce back. Full disclosure, I think so too. What is the chance you guys pull off an upset? It would be an upset.
Very high, actually. I think it's still the first bit of the season, and anything can happen, especially in the NLL. It doesn't even matter if it's the first part of the season. It's lacrosse. You can't control certain bounces. The only thing you control is the way you play the game and your energy and the untangibles, right? And through our camp, that is the massive thing that we've kind of been hammered into us is just control the controllables and do what we know. And we're gonna do our thing. We're gonna break down their defense, their size, right? They're massive. We're looking at their scout. They got one guy who's under 6 foot on their D end. Other than that, everyone else is massive. We got to break their formation, get to the middle of the floor, penetrate, come out, and make them chase us at the same time, and just because they're bigger, we're faster. So we're gonna make them extend to us and use our feet against their size, and then capitalize on that when we get it.
I like that. I'm going to text Pat Gregor and say, change the cool bet lines now. All right, finally, Tim Dillon says, please ask him about the locker room fight playing field. I'm like, well, come on. Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
What locker room fight playing field?
I don't know. I guess I should leave that one. What? He can't just say that and you not know what it is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. With Hammer on Team BC, I don't know.
Oh, the ones that he was talking about in his daily or the morning shoot around. That was that was locker boxing. That wasn't Team BC. That was BC Summer Games.
There you go.
Yeah, no, him and his thing on that. He had him and his buddy Dakota Hollister. They're from the interior, and they're just growing up. Kids from the interior are just they're a little different.
That's right. Okay.
Like they're farm boys that just rowdy farm boys that just basically like that just love to get after it in every situation, and yeah, they just beat each other up in the locker room all the time, and it was fun.
Jeez, man. What a way to end it. Have fun this week. If you score a highlight reel goal, I'm going to be excited, but I'm just score everything you can though. Just don't go for behind the back every time. We won't be mad if you do.
No, I won't. It won't be every time, but you might see something crazy.
There you go. Hey, safe travels and have fun this year, man.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Chase Fraser by Sicko, as Teddy Jenner calls him. Not bad. That's the wrong one. There it is. All right, folks. We are not done yet. Coming up next is going to be Tim Dillon after this commercial break. So we will talk more loading and talk about face-offs and what his 3-0 headlines. We'll see if his dog helped him out and let him have his headlines this week. All right, folks, we'll be right back to Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap it up next.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
We welcome you back here to Daily Dive. We want to now introduce another friend of the show, an amigo, if you will. I will now play his music, and he's about to have a good time. It is now time for Senor Siddhartha Sieta. Yes. Oh. Whoa.
How we doing, El Señor Michael? How we doing? Doing?
¿Cómo está muy bien? How are you doing, man?
Muy bien, doing very good.
More water. This guy drinks.
I know. You gotta be hydrated, but athlete.
You have a drinking problem.
I know.
Have you gotten the Tonka yet?
Tonka does not come out till December 15th. Worldwide, baby. December 15th.
They postponed it?
No, wasn't there?
What do you mean? You said, oh my Lord.
I said I pre-ordered it. You're able to pre-order it early. They're just not going to ship out. You told us
a couple of weeks ago, it came out like December 3rd or whatever it was.
I said the pre-orders open then.
You said it came out that day.
Michael, we can check this.
So you will have it next show, correct? Or next week?
I will have it next show if my mom will let me open it early for Christmas. All right? We'll have it next show if she wants me to do that. All right? It's up to her. It's up to.
I knew you were 14. I told the people who was 14, they didn't believe me. You know what I'm saying? How was your week been, sir?
It's been good. A lot of traveling. Got to see the family. Really good. But let's get down to business, Mike. You gave me some great questions to ponder over.
Okay.
All right. Give me some great questions. Well, let me do my first headline, and we'll circle back at the end for the next two.
We will do headlines in a moment. I
right,
want to first do face-offs. I want to because your original quote that everyone uses now.
Got my notes right here, Mike.
There we go.
Right here. Oh.
Which face-off guy or guys will be awesome in week 3 of the NLL?
All right, so got the notes right here. First game, Rush versus Ottawa. Jake Naso. He's gonna have a great game playing Ottawa, playing some random guy probably.
Is he playing?
Right? Huh?
Is he playing?
I've heard. Okay, here's the thing. I've heard that he's healthy-ish. I don't know.
He was questionable last game.
He was questionable. He was questionable. So I can't give a definitive answer on whether he's going to be playing or not.
But if he does play.
But if he does play, okay, because I
don't know if that's Frick says it. I don't know if he's poking fun, but I mean, I haven't heard anything special.
Well, even so, regardless if Naso's playing or not, I do believe Mike Messenger will win this face-off matchup regardless. Right? He had like 8 loose balls last game. He's doing what he needs to do.
He was good. Yes, he was good.
Yeah, he's doing good. So I think Ottawa will ultimately go 40%. I'll give, the Rush the 50% win there, the 60%, 55, 60% win range there. I'll give him there. But if Naso was playing, I'd definitively say 70-30 Rush.
Okay.
All
so
right?
you'll say like 55-45, right?
Yeah, I'll sit on that because I don't expect Messenger to like really pinch and pop the ball. I do expect him to get it out and pick it up. Muck it up. That's what I'm expecting,
That's fair. Is that your only guy or you have more?
Oh, I mean everybody.
Like real quick, like Ignacio, I forgot. Like Calgary plays. I should know this. Calgary, I forgot who they play, but
Calgary is playing. I got it right here for you, Mike.
Yeah,
Toronto.
Yeah,
Toronto.
And I think TD Erlin still is out for a while.
To my knowledge, TD Erlin and Joe Nardella are still out for the season. Not for the season. They're still out right now at the beginning of the season. All right, because you got to take into account. These guys have played more lacrosse than most professionals do in the last 2 years. They've played World Games outdoor. They've played World Games indoor. Only 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, did Nardella have a full knee surgery. All right. TD, pretty sure he had a hand surgery recently. And they've also just played a full indoor season. He just played a full outdoor season. Both of them played very well against way more aggressive, younger guys. So their bodies are taking a wear on them. And both the teams right now are on the bottom of the stand. So there's a ton of pressure for them to be risking life and limb for teams who are on the bottom of the stands right now who really are just growing. So ultimately, I don't fault them for taking the time to recover. But I don't think people should be really up their nose about why aren't they out yet, I think they're doing what they need to do right now, honestly.
Doesn't TD and I know TD plays a lot of PLL. Does Joe still do that? Does Nardella still do that?
Joe should have won Joe should have won Face-Off Guy of the Year last year, all right? The stigma around Joe Nardella and him, he should have won Comeback Player of the Year. He should have won Face-Off Guy of the Year, right? He statistically was a better face-off guy than Baptiste was, right? His team just didn't do as well as his team.
He's the PLL's golden boy.
He is, all right? But here's the thing. There's been multiple times where statistically Nardella beats Baptiste throughout the season, all right? He doesn't score as many goals as him all the time, but he should have more than just one face-off guy of the year award or two. He should have multiple, all right? And the fact that he won Sportsmanship of the Year award. That's great. I love Joe Nardella for that. Amazing guy. He also should have Player of the Year. He came off of a complete knee surgery, came back, knee ACL surgery, and
that's hard to face off too, I feel like.
Yeah. And he had a complete comeback and was destroying guys who are perfectly healthy. Right? So it's just bias against the seniority of the guys in the league there. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous, honestly. So, but Calgary versus Toronto, Ignacio's healthy. So 78% Ignacio and give it 22% to the random guy Toronto's throwing out.
I like this specifically 78 for Ignacio. Okay.
Yeah, and give me an assist or a goal. Give me a point from Ignacio. He's gonna get a point somewhere.
Oh,
assist or a goal.
Point.
He usually does play very well against Toronto when TD isn't playing, and I know he plays really well at home. I believe this is a home game for Calgary, correct?
Yeah, no, it's I think it's Toronto. Again, I'm looking right now. It is Calgary on the road, so they are traveling from Saskatchewan to Toronto.
That's not a bad travel commute. I know he lives out there, so
okay.
So I know he lives out there.
The goalie agrees. Nardella should have won faceoff. There you go. You
got and I appreciate the kind of goalie. He's rocking an Atlas jersey in there. I appreciate him not showing bias to the stats. I appreciate that from him. Ultimately, and then we have Halifax and Buffalo coming up Sunday.
Withers against Farrell is a battle.
No,
maybe.
You know what? Let me call up the phone right now. Call up the phone. Yeah. Farrell is not going to touch Withers. I mean, what are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? Give me Withers 75%. The Milkman 35.
Oh, 75 or 30.
Sorry, that math doesn't add up. I'm sorry. 70-30. 70-30. Give me 70-30 Halifax. Give me Withers. Okay.
Okay.
Listen right here. The only reason I'm going Withers is because he's the complete box athlete. Plays box year round. Plays MSL with Joe Reseteris. All right. It has more loose balls than any transition player forward in his position. All right. He won transition play of the year only 2 years ago. Okay. He scores. I mean, the fact that Connor Farrell's he's a great face-up guy, but he wasn't good enough to play in PLL. He got cut. All right. And his whole thing for indoor is he gets the ball, passes it, or he runs through guys. Guess what they're gonna do? Guess what Halifax is gonna do? They're gonna have their wings. They're gonna have Hasek. They have Terefenko. They have guys who can fight. Right? I'm pretty sure Bomberry's on that team still. Right?
I think Hasek had a lot of loose balls off of face-off last year.
He does. And what I'm gonna say is Withers is a smart guy. If Farrell wins a clamp, he's just going to get that butt end. He's going to pull his big hands out, all right? That's all I'm saying is Withers knows what he's doing. Withers knows if Farrell just falls over the ball, he should pull his hands out and Hostek's going to pick it up or Terefenko's going to pick it up for a goal, right?
You'll see Farrell I guess the boards, you don't think he's going to
and then you have Graham Hostek going in and breaking his ribs up. Like, it's simple as that. Right? And Ryan Terefenko. Oh my gosh, is that guy deadly off the face-off with transition, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then you have senior offensive guys. You have Stotts on the team. So, what are we doing? That's not even an argument, all right? You know what? I'll go so far as to say that Halifax is going to beat Buffalo.
No. Right? So is that going to be your bold prediction of the day?
Yeah. And on top of that, here's my headline. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding.
No headline.
Hashtag Halifax, ready? Diamond Hands. Daniel Ansberry will be making his debut this week against Halifax. Against Buffalo for Halifax, all right? Now, first of all, he's a loading athlete, right? He's a loading athlete. And he's a nasty D guy. So, perfect to what I'm saying is if Farrell is just trying to run amok, right? I don't see no problems. This guy dropping the mitts and fighting Farrell, or just pitting him, making him have a bad day, right? Because this guy's a fighter. Realistically, he's a great defensive player, but he's a hockey fighter, right? So if for any reason Farrell's causing Withers a problem, they're just taking him out the game, and then Withers will have a good rest of the day. Honestly,
you think there's a potential that Withers Farrell gets taken out of the game because he's doing so bad?
No, I think they're going to take another game for 5-minute major fighting Diamond Hands. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think should happen if Withers is having any trouble.
You think Diamond Hands will stir the pot right away?
I think that's his job, honestly. Oof. I mean, are they playing in Halifax, right?
They're playing in Buffalo. You got to get your schedule right.
I know. I flip them all the time. It doesn't matter if they're playing Halifax. It doesn't matter if they're playing Buffalo. You know what? It doesn't matter because Buffalo's depleted. They don't have their star talents as much anymore. They don't have their Chase Fraziers, right? And Buffalo lives off their crowd energy, all right? Give me somebody like Diamond Hands over here who's just going to make that crowd get real quiet when he starts punching guys in the face. Jeez, I think it's a great plan. I mean, yeah, they wanted to get him some good defensive reps, sure, but the guy's a fighter, man. I've seen him fight. I've seen him play ball. He's a good captain. He's a good presence in the locker room. And I really think that him bringing that defensive presence eases up Hasek's life, right? Eases up the defensive transition. And if some guy's causing a problem for the team, send him out there. That's his job. We're gonna see more. We're gonna see more guys like him, which are basically just Elijah Gashes in this league, who are really good at fighting and who are really good in transition defense. That's it, right? And we're gonna see some older vets starting to fight these guys. And to quote freaking shoot around podcast, they're gonna die. They're gonna go down their shield, right?
So
these older guys.
Bro said Diamond Hands. No, that's what they call him. Is I don't know why they call him Diamond Hands. They call it
because he punches guys like he has diamonds for hands.
Right. Frick. I mean, I don't know why people don't listen to what we're saying. I literally said, as reported by Frick, whenever you talk about whatever. Everyone knows Frick reported Diamond Hands playing Halifax. So, come on, man. By the way, the one time Withers and Farrell faced off in the NLL was on April 12th of this year, and Withers won 22 of 31 for 71%.
Yeah.
So your 70% prediction is pretty on point there.
It is pretty on point because
and you're right though, like Farrell is, I think Withers is a just better box player. And
I will say
Farrell lets you throw his blubbery weight around.
Withers is the greatest indoor faceoff guy from the East Coast of Canada to ever exist in the last 15 years who's been actively
you can't just no. Where does he rank all time? Well, in the East Coast of Canada last 15 years, what kind of filter is that?
Because he's playing MSL, right? Completely different from WLA, right? In summer ball, right? WLA, you're not gonna many face-off guys. You guys like Hammer Jackson, you guys got guys from Oregon in that league. Like, it's just a different atmosphere, all right? But MSL, you're gonna have more consistent face-off guys, all right?
How is Ontario not the East Coast of Canada? Like what?
Yeah, Ontario.
Ontario's pretty east.
It's as an American, I would probably say it's pretty east. Unless we're counting like
Alabama is east of the United.
Unless we're counting like Nova Scotia or something. Like, I don't get it. Like, personally, all I'm saying is Withers. You can pin him out on this list. Like,
he's not,
dude. Withers, I would have to say he's like in that number 1, number 2 spot for me.
He's because
Baptiste is in that 5 range for me. I just think that
I think Withers is probably like number 1. Who would be number 1? I know like there's guys, historians in the comments right now. Like, who is like the best face-off guy of all time?
Well, Canadian-wise, it was Bob Snyder for a long time. But technique-wise, he was using this old school technique, just following the ball more, But
Bob or Jeff?
Joff Snyder and Bob Snyder, they were both really good back in the day. Joff Snyder was the better of them for sure.
Let's see. Yeah, I've seen him before. Woo.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, in this modern era face-off technique, where it's a lot cleaner, moto, stand up, ranking them, it would have to be Withers, and then it would have to be Nardella, TD Ierlan. Like, I love TD, but Nards is consistent up there. Like, he gives Withers a run for his money.
All time. I mean, Jeremy Thompson had a good run.
Jeremy Thompson, a great run, but
he's fallen off the map badly.
I will pit Baptiste above Jeremy.
I think Withers and Snyder. I think Withers is better than Snyder, honestly.
Yeah, and I'll pit Baptiste, I'll pit Jeremy, and then I'm gonna pit Hammer Jackson. All right, he hasn't played a full season. People don't realize this.
All right.
Tyrell Hammer Jackson has never played a full NLL season.
You know what the best ability is, right?
Huh?
You know what the best ability is, right?
His best ability?
Availability.
Oh, availability. Yeah.
Okay,
write that down.
Well, you coined face-offs matter. I got a best ability.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like, let's look at Georgia. Georgia drafted Nathan Powers from D3 Emory College. He plays NABLL in America for New England, Paper City Oaks, right? He's really good. But they're only having 21 guys in this roster, and they're not pitting a face-off guy in this roster. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense for Georgia.
So, question: the last one I want to get, because there's so many of these games, but I want to get to Colorado on that Palato kid or whatever that you talked about.
Yeah. So Nate,
he's playing the Wings. Who are the Wings face-off guy right now?
Bo Columbus. There's the Wings face-off guy. So let me pull it up for you right here.
All right.
So Bo Columbus, drafted from RMU. He's a really good face-off guy. Honestly, he's a prodigy guy.
You don't think is Palato going to dominate, or you don't think so?
Well, here's my prediction.
All right.
Bo Columbus, he's going to debut, right? He's going to debut.
True?
I know he plays for Brooklyn in the MSL.
Right.
I know he goes moto in there. I don't know if he's going to go moto against Matt Palato. Matt Palato is a stand-up neutral guy from Rutgers, right? So he did get drafted by the Whip Snakes. He was a practice guy. So what I will say about that is the Whip Snakes, PLO, they brought him in just as a practice guy for Nardella. So he's able to keep up with a lot of the guys. But what I'm saying is he looked good in training camp. He looked good against Vancouver. So Vancouver just didn't have anybody out there. So I really think this is going to be a 50-50 matchup. 50-50. I think that Matt Palato, he's going to have that one game of experience and those previous games in preseason.
That's true.
He's older than Bo Columbus by a couple of years. Not a lot. But Bo Columbus is a purebred RMU boxer.
You like RMU? Like this is a big Ryan Smith moment again.
Well, yeah, RMU and RIT produced the most NLL players at any university, and his brother plays box at a very high level with him, and he plays for Brooklyn in MSL. So I don't see any problem with him having a good game against a face-off guy who's only really seen pro reps and the practice levels with the PLL and preseason and one game against Vancouver where they didn't even have a guy, and I saw him drag it out and lose the ball like 4 times himself.
Question.
And
so are we sure Bo Columbus is on face-off for Philadelphia this week?
I honestly can't give you a 100% answer. I checked the Instagrams. I checked around. The roster says he's there on the roster, but there's nothing saying he isn't.
Fair. So if Palato plays him, it's 50-50.
Yeah, I'm 50-50. And I would probably say the edge might go to Palato only because he has more like better wings than Philly does. Because Philly's traded all their wings away. They really don't have that much room in transition. They're very offensive.
That's a good point. No Mitch the Snoo, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't really have like their trademark guys right now. Like, but ultimately, I think honestly 50-50, but depending how the Wings are playing, I'll give it favor for Colorado. I think he's gonna have a little bit more experience, maybe a little bit more grown man strength on Bo. But Bo's a specimen, man. He's like 6'2". He knows he's a big guy. He knows what he's doing, honestly.
You love that. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and to wrap it up for face-offs for me is Oshawa, Georgia, 60-40% Oshawa.
Whoa, Oshawa's only 60?
Yeah, because they don't have a face-off guy, really. And, they do have a guy, but Georgia has a really good D and transition unit. So I don't think they're going to have a problem mucking up.
And what's your other predictions real quick?
And then my last one, for Vancouver, Vegas, give me Hammer Jackson, 90%.
90?
Yeah, 90%.
Isn't he playing? Hold on. Isn't is Stathakis?
Nope.
Stathakis hurt, ain't he?
He's out.
That's right.
They have some backup going in, dude. I talked to him last night.
Okay.
Dude, listen. Vancouver's only going to go like 10 to 5%. Hammer, depending on how he's feeling, 95% from the Hammer. Okay.
90 or 95. 90 or 95? Which one are you thinking?
Give me 90%. 95, actually. That's the jersey.
95, okay.
Because Hammer Jackson was averaging 80% in WLA. All right. He's more rested than everybody else in this league right now. Vegas has had 3 weeks off. And they're playing in Vancouver. They're playing in Hammer's hometown, so no travel. Right? And he's ready to go against this random guy. And I'll even go as far as say is he might get an assist. He might get a goal because I watched a practice film
You're going to point for Nasty and a point for Hammer Jackson?
Yeah. Hey, give me a point for Withers, too. Point for Withers. You might get like a hockey assist. You might get like a hockey assist. Give me a straight up point for Withers and 2 hockey assists for Withers, too. That's not going to be on the stat sheet. But he's going to have 2 transition plays.
That will go on the stat sheet. We'll say 2 points for Withers. Okay. Yeah. I know that's one more thing. San Diego Rochester.
Oh, is that even a question?
No,
is that even a question?
100%?
Trevor Baptiste, he's going 90%, 10% Jeremy Thompson. Jeremy's gonna muck it up, right? You look at the game between him, Haudenosaunee versus USA, international rules. Haudenosaunee, they did an okay job mucking up against Baptiste and TD Ierlan. But ultimately,
90 in this game?
Baptiste is going 90%. Jeremy Thompson.
Steelers have better players if like to pick it up, though.
Yeah, that's what Danny Logan. I mean, D guy of the year in the PLL, short stick D guy. He's picking up loose balls left and right. I mean, Rochester, they do have some really good talent on those loose balls, but they're not going to be as fast enough as Baptiste. Also, he's also already scored this year against an okay team, right?
Ottawa,
yeah. And like, dude, the only reason I'm saying Hammer is going to be scoring is because if you look at the clips from the practice, I've seen some other practice clips too. Dude, he scored on Baptiste straight up. He scored again in that same scrimmage. Like he's solid this year. He's healthy, lost a bunch of weight. He's looking solid. Jeremy Thompson. Dude, last thing I'll say is, listen, Jeremy, watching this, Jeremy Thompson, I love you. I love you. You're ambassador of the game, future Hall of Famer, right? But don't go out in your shield. Don't go out in your shield right now. Like, if you want to endorse a guy or have another guy from your community that can take faceoffs at a very high level, bring that guy in.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's get
let's be honest. Like, there's guys who want a shot in this league, and there's only they deserve an opportunity. And if you're holding out a roster spot because you feel like you're the guy, even though
you're going to get in trouble here, we got to move on to Trust Notices. Okay, ready for this?
Yeah.
On. Three and all headlines against Trust Notices with Tim Dillon. Only 3 better be good.
So my first one was Diamond Hands. That was my headline I got for Loose Mesh.
I was gonna wait for that, you jerk.
I know, right? So that's one for me. To the Tonka. Tonka's coming out December 15th.
No, yes, you did not have that prepared. What was your say? You did not have that prepared.
Yes, I did. This is all lies. All lies.
All right, well, right now Tonka comes out December. Although Frick did say he talked to McBride, and it's coming out actually. Oh my God, there's a lot of comments here. He said it's actually coming out. I forgot. It's so far the 20th.
Well, you know what? I'm not in the group chat, so that you know what? I'll get that information in a couple hours.
All right, whatever. We'll see.
That's not my fault, buddy. It's not my fault.
All right, what's your third headline? The second one was terrible. They'll go to the third one.
Third headline is.
Oh, you didn't write these down?
I did it right here, buddy. I have it right here. I'm reading it for you right now. Calm down.
What's your third one?
Third one, I think Vegas should bring Bouquet with them to the Vancouver game. I think he should be on the. I think they should sit a guy. I think they should bring him.
Oh my God, you had Bouquet.
Dude, it's the second week. It's the second week in this league. There's minimal happening. All right, and every other trade or every other injury is happening when I'm not on the air.
Wow.
Or the day before or after. All right, listen. Is there some news I just haven't heard about? Because my Instagram is pretty relevant. It's pretty up to date. Right? There isn't NLL news coming out the woodwork, so I can just be like, freaking Mr. Sue's getting traded again. Like, it's not that I got for you there. Honestly,
Jordan McBride said it's the 20th, by the way.
All right, Jordan, freaking text me later about it, I guess. Let me go live on air and say it out loud for the last 2 weeks.
Dude, you had one headline prepared.
No, I had 3 prepared. One of them was just proven on live air for the whole world to see.
No, the third one cannot. Do you know what a headline is?
Oh, you weren't, dude. Mike, do you have a headline for me? Give me 3 right now because I
had a whole narrative segment yesterday where I thought that Rochester's defense in San Diego, I'm interested to see how that looks. I believe Oshawa's offense is going to be, I want to see how that looks this week. I think that the 3 championship, like the Saskatchewan, Vancouver, Buffalo, are going to have crazy games, and who's going to make the biggest statement? Those are headlines.
You know what? Okay, you know what? The only reason I'm bringing up the Vegas thing with with the goalie is because
Chris
I
Bouquet.
believe
This guy.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
Bouquet,
right? I know too, pal.
Listen,
go ahead.
Listen. I feel like they should bring the practice goalie because I do believe that for Vegas to beat Vancouver, they need to win a lot of faceoffs. Right? They need to have Chase Frazier, all these local Vancouver guys playing in their hometown, playing very comfortably, and they need to be rotating the goalies. All right. I know it's not great to say. I know people are gonna say leave the goalies and let them be comfortable.
It's a bullshit.
Kate Kelsey, he's a good goalie, but I've seen him play. Right? He'll get rattled every once in a while. Like he doesn't like consistency is not the best part of this team right now. Okay.
No.
So they should be bringing 3 goalies with them like Buffalo does. They should be bringing 3 goalies. All right. And you want another freaking headline? You want another freaking headline?
No, you only have 3. You fit.
No. Give me Rochester beating San Diego. Rochester beating San Diego. Even losing every faceoff. Give me Rochester beating San Diego.
Hey, by the way, the fans are not happy.
You got money? You got San Diego money line or something, Mike?
No. People are not happy with how Tressel has just worked. So, but
dude,
I will say,
I give you 10 stat sheets of face-offs, all right? And then you want 3 more headlines, and you want like 1,000 more things, buddy. Listen. I can get you face-offs. I can get you 1 or 2 good headlines of news, but like 3. Tress is a lot from Buddy over here, right?
Okay. By the way, we have news here. We're coming. Oh no! My hands in the air. The Tonka actually comes out the 20th.
That's not my fault. No one texted me that. All right, that's not my fault. Do me dirty on live. Do me dirty on live radio right now. My mom's watching this right now. Right? She's pissed.
Hey. Great work today, Tim Dillon. The face-off predictions, I feel like every week those you need to have. I want to see how good you do, honestly. I'm excited to see how that looks.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like the predictions will do good. And then next week I actually have something to talk about because we won't have just like 2 games, you know? Like whoever scheduled whoever NLO intern scheduled 2 games. And there were the most random matchups ever, and no wait. Like, no, we're scheduling 2 games. There should be some meaty games, man. Give me Saskatchewan versus like Calgary. Freaking, what are we doing right now? Honestly,
jeez, man.
I mean, what are we doing? Also, Diamond Hand should count as itself as like 2 headlines, right? He's playing pro hockey.
Wow,
he's playing pro.
You would like you to count for all 3.
He should. Okay,
should. I also think that I really at this point hope the Tonka does come out for all the Christmas because at this point I don't even know.
Yeah, I do too, honestly. Like it's my reputation is very shaky right now on it. You know, like it's a little much. But I will have to say, Loose Nest podcast. I gotta shout those boys out.
Oh.
I like them. They do great work.
They're good,
I definitely have to say, what do you call it? There's a guy on the podcast. I forget his name, but he's doing this whole segment on equipment. And I really like what he's bringing to the table and talking about like the specialized equipment that they're doing in the league that nobody's talking about, like the bicep pads being alterated with the custom like hard pieces. Huh?
Is it Dawson saying that?
No. There's this guy. He coaches for the Bulgaria lacrosse team. His name's slipping me right now. But he does a great job talking like the insides of equipment, all this stuff, like really good work. And I also have to shout out his name's right here. Nick Coyne, former equipment manager for the Panther City Lacrosse Club, RIP, and USA men's national team equipment manager. Right? Nick Coyne, he's the guy I talk to about equipment. He's a guy. Look him up. He's called the Lax QM on Instagram. Great guy. And you know what? I've hit him up. I've hit him up for some news. Not a lot of news going around, right? And also, you know what? Let me say something right here. Let me just put this down as a headline. Ready? Tick, headline. Will Malcolm, 7 points.
This week,
7 points.
We're gonna have to change that to 3 predictions, just so you'll feel better about it.
7 points, Will Malcolm. All right, he's gonna get 4 goals. All right, 3 assists. 4 goals, 3 assists. I believe in that.
That's specific. I like it. Okay.
All right, because Vegas, they have a great offense. Defensively, we haven't seen them get tested yet. So,
Vegas even played.
Yeah, so might be a shootout. Because
Colorado. Will Malcolm's on Colorado. They're playing Philadelphia for the record.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying Vegas's defense, regardless, is going to be tested, and they are playing Philadelphia, and Philadelphia hasn't been tested either. That's what I'm trying to make the comparison to here. Is both defenses are lacking, and Philadelphia specifically, goaltending situation. Oh my gosh! Like, is it Higgins? Is this? It's everywhere.
It's not Higgins. It's you talking about Damoud. Damoud's not bad. It's the defense in front of him. But we're gonna let you go before you say anything else. Thank you, Tim. Hey, gracias, Tim Dillon.
Gracias, Donata.
I will see Donata next week, right?
Feliz Navidad to the people out there. Feliz Navidad.
We're not there yet. We're like 2 weeks away.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. All right.
He's also going to do Christmas, apparently, this guy. What is this show? I'm good for now. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Friday, December 12th, 2025. Happy 12/12 to all who observe. And this show begins now. We're on today's awesome show. We're going to talk to, first of all, Pat Gregoire, as he is live from Ottawa, where the Black Bears are hosting the Rush. We'll talk to him about that game, 2 others, and his best bets from all 3. Then we'll talk to Captain as he enters step 2 of his safe letter and tries to get the greedy thing going there. And finally, we'll get to the crew's predictions. And full disclosure, I will post the pick'em graphic later. Could not get to it to save my life. Was too busy. There's so many best bets this week, you'll see. But without further ado, we're now going to bring in the king himself, the man who has a pretty good record in betting at this point on the show. It's time for Pat Gregoire, Mr. Prophet. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I apologize if the audio doesn't sound great. Forgot the AirPods. That's a fine on me, but sitting in the lower bowl right now. Got some great seats. Saskatchewan just got off the floor. Ottawa will probably be coming on in about 10 minutes. So just in time, I think we can break down some best bets of the biggest slate that we've had. The biggest slate that we probably will have all year long. But a lot of options, Mike, for week 3.
Yeah, I like this week a little bit too much. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
I'm currently, I think, at like what am I right now? I was just looking at it. I'm currently at a 3-4. You're at 5-3 if we're counting week 1. Good for you.
Well, of course we're counting week 1.
But yeah, the polar bears will fine you for not having your AirPods. So
yes, of course.
All right, so obviously in Ottawa, let's talk about the Rush. How they looking shoot around? How are you feeling about the vibes for Saskatchewan?
You know what? The great thing about the vibes with Saskatchewan, it's they've got great vibes. They're always upbeat. Head coach Jimmy Quinlan out there in his shorts and his short sleeve hoodie, running around, running practice. You know, they keep it light, but they keep it serious. So they looked absolutely dialed in. The offense was shooting the ball really well. You know, I think we see a better effort from that second half from Frank Chiliano and the defense. They weren't really all that pleased with how they played. how they allowed Calgary to get back into it.
Right.
I will say this: I don't know. We're still waiting to see the status of Jake Naso, but stay tuned. He was out there practicing. I know he still has to clear some protocols, so I would say that they felt not having Jake Naso, as you and I talked about on Monday, was a big reason why Calgary was able to come back into that game and go on that run because they couldn't get a possession off faceoffs.
Yeah, no, and like Anastasios on the other side, you're not doing yourself any favors there. Messenger was 6 of 17. I keep hammering that home.
Yep.
Is he the hammer? No, he's Terrell.
He is the hammer. He is.
Okay,
I guess. Yeah. I guess there's debate who the real hammer is.
That's right. The Hammer Jackson over there. Interesting. Yeah. So I know Frick commented the other day, Naso out. I'm like, I knew he was questionable last week. So and like you said, he's in shoot around. We'll have to see. I mean, he's a greedy little dude. I don't think a little Nick is going to keep him out.
Yeah, it's again. I think if he can get cleared, he's going to be good. He's going to be good to go. He's going to want to play,
right.
And I'm sure it probably sucked watching, Anasio, one of the best in the biz at faceoffs. Allow his team to get back into it. So
correct.
Keep an eye on the transaction wire. Like I said, we talked to their coaching staff, to their medical staff. They said there's still some things that have to be cleared. So keep your eyes on the transaction wire. Maybe we see him, maybe we don't.
Let's talk to speaking of now you see me, now you don't. How about John Cena's farewell? Anyways,
there you go.
Yeah. And I don't think Cody Rhodes was pinned when I made that bet. That was terrible.
No, I don't.
Anyways,
think so
let's talk about the Black Bears, and then you can kind of transition into your best bets here. But how do you think the Black Bears are looking?
They can't look any worse than they started off. That 6-0.
Ask Dan McRae.
Yeah, just a terrible way to start off.
Correct.
Your legacy, your era of a coaching staff, and as a head coach, I should say. And it wasn't for the lack of preparation. I mean, all the guys on the team said, we came out. It wasn't a preparation. They just fell out flat, and especially defensively, got chasing around, some really uncharacteristic turnovers that ended up leading into the back of the net. They're going to come back out with a much better effort. They were pretty pleased with offensively, and as they should. They put up a ton of points, even in that first half where they were held to the 0 goals at that one point. They got a lot of chances. They hit a lot of posts. So I think offensively, you should believe that this group is going to be able to score. It's just, okay, defensively, can you get back to where you were last year? So let's not forget, this was the 3rd ranked defense in the NLL when it comes to goals against average.
Yeah, which is really insane. I knew Higgins was great, but they missed Callum Jones.
Yeah.
You only have to imagine, as nice as he seems, he is a menace on the floor, dude.
Oh yeah, he's a dog on a bone. He's really taking more of a leadership role this year. He's wearing the A with the team this year on the road. So he's really focused on this offseason, not just being a leader, but also in transition. He said one thing that he really worked on was his shot, his running, catching loose balls, all that type of thing. So he really, really feels like he can take his game to the next level with a little more extra transition. And to be quite honest, against a team like Saskatchewan that likes to score in transition, you're going to have to try to keep up. I don't think you want to get into a run and gun game. I think they're going to want to slow down the game a little bit, but you're going to have to chip in transitionally as well when the chances arise.
Boudreaux and all the boys. Mike Messenger's got 2. Good Lord. All right. So with that being said, you're not buying Ottawa this week, are you?
Not yet, and not against this Rush team. I just think this Rush team is too polished.
Right.
Especially when you consider they don't look all that great in the second half, and I don't think they make that mistake again. They really, really did not like how they came out in the second half. They don't like how they were not as crisp, how defensively they gave up a lot of open looks from the outside. And to be quite frank, but they were happy with the result. They were happy that they were able to dig deep, battle through, come out on top, make a couple of extra plays and come out with the win, but they realize they need to be better. And this is a championship caliber team, And I don't think Ottawa is just there yet. They're going to have a better effort, and I think this is going to be a much closer game. But I'm going to go with the experience. I'm going to go with the pedigree, and I'm going to take Saskatchewan. I was kind of surprised to see a cool bet only minus 149. You can actually get plus money as well for the minus 1.5. It's not going to be an official play for me, Mike. But if you're feeling a little spicy, you want to sprinkle a little bit of a value play, getting them to win by a goal. We saw it, a miracle cover last game with the 2.5.
Ridiculous.
So I think this one is going to be close down the stretch, but Saskatchewan finds a way to pull by a goal or two. But I'm not betting against this team. I know they're on the road. Jake Elliott said it on his podcast this week. They're close to entering Buffalo territory when it comes to him with his who you got picks, saying, I'm just going to take them until they lose. I might start taking that as well. I might say, okay, I'm going to Saskatchewan, Buffalo until you guys prove me wrong. I'm taking you guys to win.
I love that point, as people will see in my best bets. And by the way, we're not going to get to the Halifax game, Mr. Sir. I think people, if I see a lot of Halifax picks, I know frickin' Hunter are doing it. I think people are hey!
It's Teddy.
Oh, it's Teddy! He came in here, but it's okay. It's fine. No,
He's throwing lacrosse balls at me now.
This guy. What a but yeah, I think Buffalo is gonna I don't think Halifax is gonna have the same thing. Where's Ashley, man? At this point, you have the whole crew.
Ashley's over there too. Here she is.
Jeez.
She's coming over.
No, who threw that one?
That was Ashley.
Good Lord, what a rocket on that chick. Oh my goodness.
We're off the rails.
Flamethrower, man. That was amazing. I'm gonna stick and throw it for real. Oh, and by the way, I was texting you guys the other day. I think Teddy needs to come on OTCB and do a little Freddie float, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Or let Freddie do it, for God's sake.
I agree. Absolutely.
That would be so
positive.
How he does that in that weather is ridiculous, by the way.
It's crazy. He's a beauty. Guy. I'll be honest, it is. I love always watching. I get a kick out of him with his toque on, his AirPods in, and floating. But he does give a lot of words of wisdom. So I definitely implore everyone to go follow Freddie Jenner for some positive vibes.
Yeah, agreed. All right, moving on. After you just got pelted with, that's unbelievable. You thought snow was bad. Anyways, let's now do Colorado, Philly.
Yep.
Man, listen, man. Mammoth made a statement, and you know what's funny? I was so close to putting the Mammoth money line in my best bets. Pat, this feels fishy. I know your play is not on the money line. I really feel like if Philadelphia's going to win a couple of games this year, this is one where I just wouldn't be shocked if they won.
No, to be honest, I think you're right. This is the time to collect a win. A Colorado team that's got a full belly, feeling really good about themselves, coming from the West Coast, going into Philadelphia. And we've seen it. Those afternoon games in Philadelphia on a Saturday, especially a team with a lot of guys on the West Coast, like that's a game where you can catch a team sleeping. And I think that's probably what they're going to have to do. There's not a lot of film out on what Philadelphia has. No Mitch Jones, little chip on their shoulder. So you're right. Maybe that's why the money line isn't as big. I think to take a phrase from our buddy Captain, might be a little bit of a sleepy book situation. Because if you look at the money line, though, for Coolbet, the line is certainly a lot different than some of the other books. I know it opened up at like minus 130 or something like that at FanDuel.
Where was I?
It was at FanDuel earlier this week.
I was sleeping better here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're sleeping better. So, for me, I think you're right, but I just, again.
All right, tunnel guy.
I love what Colorado did offensively. I think they're playing a much weaker defense. They're playing a defense that's not going to be as strong. And to be honest, I don't think Philadelphia is going to struggle to put the ball in the net this year. I think defensively is where they're going to struggle. Brendan O'Neill's going to have the ball in his stick more. You're going to have more opportunities for Joe Resetarits to really have him as the offensive quarterback on that team.
shameless plug here. He was on OTCB this week. He said,
go!
There you go. There you
go.
A
couple of fresh fish champions.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, he seems really motivated. He really believes in this team. He thinks that, they're going to be a hardworking team.
Right.
And I think that offense with some younger faces, I think they're gonna have no problem scoring some goals this year. So I think that number's too low. So I'm taking the over in that game between two pretty powerful offenses.
I don't do this. I've learned to not do this. I'm so close to adding Colorado Philly to my best bets with the over because I texted you that first before you even told me what your best bet was.
Yeah.
And you literally. I know Will Malcolm will win a stock trick every game, but man,
yeah.
I mean, they're Colorado's offense, like you said, is playing a much worse defense. And by the way, the graphic of year 2, Brian O'Neill got me. Thank you, NLL, fired me up over there.
Yeah. And you know what, Mike? The thing is, too, let's just let's say. Philadelphia even does come out flat and they don't really carry their weight and Colorado blows them out. I still think Colorado has enough offensive power to do their part. And then maybe, garbage time, Philly starts filling up the bucket as well. I don't know. I've got a lot of this interview is going, let me go down this bunker really quick. I'm trying to avoid Ottawa's back out on the floor. So I don't want to be, rinkside, making them think that I'm, recording their power players.
Yeah, they would report you real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, over. Give me the over. I understand a little bit of disrespect for Dylan Ward and Nick Damu, the goalies, but I don't know. These offenses are way too good.
Sometimes gambling is disrespectful, and like you said, 22.5 is ridiculous. I think one of these days the Wings might, like you said, we might be at a point where it's 24.5 every game they play. So
yeah, 100%.
Sleepy books, including the polar bears. We got them right where we want them. All right. For those that don't know, I've been taking shots at polar bears all week. I hope Antarctica's melting.
Well, player props are up. Player props about.
Yes.
So player props for the first game are up. Actually, I'll add it to my best bet. Austin Shanks over 2 goals.
Oh, writing that down. Oh, is it? Oh, you're taking the over. So you're thinking it's a hat trick.
I think it's a hat trick for Shanks here tonight.
Okay, I got burned by Tyler Pace, the jerk of a podcast host. So whatever. I thought he had the quick 2 killed me, man.
Yeah. So I'll go Shanks over 2 goals.
I'm glad you said that. Because I had thankfully already added this to the graphic earlier. I'm going to have to add yours after the show. Larson's son down under 3.5 points. Why in the devil is a guy who scored, I think, was it 4 points against the Seals? I don't see him hitting. There's 3 points, maybe. 3.5 is. I'm sorry, Larson's son down. You're a lob threat. Sorry, man.
Well, I think I really do think that the offense of this Ottawa Black Bears team, no doubt, is driven by 51 of Jeff Teat and Rob Hellier. But I think there's some belief that if this offense is going to be good, they need some other pieces around it.
So, Dunbar was back week 1. I know no one likes that guy. I love him.
Yeah, you know what? He's a super dynamic forward. He can dodge down the alley, beat guys underneath, come up the top. Great shot on the run. Just needs to put it all together. Have a little bit of consistency. That's what they're looking from him this year.
Good. All right. So again, Colorado Philly over 22.5, and you like the Shanks over 2.5 goals, and of course the Rush money line and a little bit of cover sprinkles there. Now let's finally get to the Dogs and the Warriors. I had on Chase Fraser yesterday.
Yep.
A little bit.
Great interview. That was
Thank
awesome.
you. That was a long show, by the way.
It was. I'm not even done yet. I got to finish it.
When I told him to break down the Bandits, I didn't realize we were going to go a whole 10-year history there. That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's funny that the dude's won so many championships with that team. He just forgot which championship he was talking about.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna Las Vegas, Vancouver. He talks about he likes their offense. I would not be surprised if their offense has a good game. To be fair, with this new iteration of Vancouver, Pat, we have not seen a good performance from them, no matter what season we're playing. Is this the time for Vancouver, or what are we doing here?
I don't know if it's time for Vancouver to get a win, but I can tell you this. This is the time for the offense to wake up here, and it's a great opportunity against the defense and a goaltender that really hasn't proven anything yet. And I know they go out, they get John LaFontaine, they get they get Malcolm, they kind of shore up their back end a little bit, but still I have to see the improvements. And until Landon Kells can prove to me that he is a legitimate number one, I think this is the perfect spot for Vancouver to explode and get that offense going. With that being said, I also think that Vegas's offense, with their changes they made, the fact that they've got Mitch Jones coming home, they've got Chase Fraser coming home.
Right.
I think this could, and no shot at Christian Del Bianco and that defense. They are absolutely legit. But for me, I think this could be a shootout. I think this could be an absolute shootout. I'm taking the over, and I think both these offenses really come out to play. I could be proven wrong here because Christian Del Bianco's done that before, Mike. But this is an over game for me.
I don't mind that. Your camera's frozen in one bunker of the arena, which is great. You sound good though. No, this is why we did the Pixar guy.
There you go.
even though I like the way the OTCB one's turned out, this one's okay.
Yeah.
There, we're back. But no, I agree with the over there. Did I take the over? I don't know why. Again, I don't know. I had so many bets going on before the show. I did not, but it was up there for me. Like, the problem is, like, does Vancouver's defense have a pulse again? Like, although Malcolm had a sock trick, they still only got 10 goals out of that whole thing, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with the 1,000%. I love that.
It's hard because you're right. Like, on paper, Vancouver's got the best defense. They got the best goalie on the planet, probably. Taking over seems really, 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 risky. But I don't know. I just feel like on the other side of the coin, you look at what they did in the offseason, and it's only one game. And I'm not saying it's panic time.
Wait a minute.
But if that offense, sorry, go ahead, Mike. Oh, geez. Are you going to get struck for a cease and desist here for the music?
I'm like over here, like with my woman. Yeah, great. That's a great song.
But yeah, I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
I think both offenses just have a chip on their shoulder to get ready and to prove that they're the real deal.
Agreed. Any parting shots for you? And by the way, thank you again. These on-location things are more fun than I thought they'd be.
Well, I mean, I think today I don't know if it's the connection or what's going on. A little bit spotty, but hey, as long as you can hear me, that's okay. But parting shots, yeah. OTCB podcast is live on YouTube. Don't know if we're live on audio streams just yet. We had Joe Rezateritz on, awesome chat, talking about just a magnitude of things. How he changed his mindset coming out of COVID. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Really changed his mindset after COVID to take things a little more serious from a fitness standpoint. Talked about just expectations for Philadelphia this year, and it was a really, really awesome chat. And obviously, we make our best bets and box bets. Talk about the upcoming games, and it was a fun episode.
Real quick, 90 minutes. Good Lord, y'all are doing the Lord's work over there. I know, we call Teddy producer Teddy. I feel like your hands are all over this YouTube thing, though.
It is. I've been elected as YouTube producer. So,
dude, in the thumbnail is ridiculous. I'm like, wow.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
I thought the diving name with Established 2022 was great. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you, man.
Trying to channel my inner Mr. Beast, I guess.
Chase. Austin Shanks over 2 goals. I will add it to the graphic afterwards, but we'll also show the best bets at the end as well. Thank you, sir. Tell the polar bears we love them. Snuggle them for me. And you and Teddy and Ashley have a heck of a call tonight.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yes, sir. Pat Gregoire, everybody. Hey, listen, that dude, there it is. That dude comes with the sauce every time. We appreciate him. On location, I'm telling you, these things are rocking. I got to, there it is. Like, what in the world, my logo? There it is. All right. We come back. We're talking captain. We finally got up a step of the ladder. He's going to take us to step 2 and tell us how the greedy ladder looks, and we'll let him tease a little coffee money parlay. Ooh, don't go anywhere. We're talking ladders when we come back to Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Captain, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing good.
He's in the flesh. Let's go.
Doing good, feeling good. I'll try the video. If it doesn't work out so well, I'll just go back to audio, and you can put the old used car salesman pick up there for me.
Yeah, you already look better than Pat did for most of the time, so that was great. I'm sorry. So, sir, congratulations on hitting a ladder hitting a step last week. This is Captain's Ladder presented by Elevated Truck and Crane. For the good people over there. But yeah, how are you feeling? The safe ladder, we moved up a step. We're good.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Minus 200. That's typically something, you don't want to tell the boys about that you hit, but we had to slay that dragon.
Oh,
Quarter after 3, good enough for me.
Woo!
So yeah, we're one down and a few more to go here.
That's good. So I know before we get to your ladder stuff, we're going to talk about the other games that Pat Gregoire was not able to tackle himself. Now, he already talked about Saskatchewan, Ottawa. I know we'll save that one for your ladder bets because I believe both of those are starting off. But let's jump into Calgary at Toronto in the new barn. Now, full disclosure, we were not able to do boots on the ground. I know you're a big Roughnecks guy, especially now the red is back. You're back as well. But Roughnecks rock. How are you feeling about this game flow in general? And do you have a play on it or a lean or anything?
Yeah, it was exciting to see like Dixon and Pace put up 7 points last week. That's definitely good things for Roughneck fans going forward.
That's true.
The other thing to remember too is like Aiden Walsh finished the season last year on the Pines. So
yes,
he had a rough start there in Sask. First game back, you're thrown right in the fire. I mean, your second game back isn't going to be any easier. Toronto has a lot of firepower up front with Matthews, and then those rookies are clicking with him. I'm heavily leaning towards Toronto 1.5 on this one.
Okay.
I just don't see Rosie kind of giving up as many. He's so solid, and I get Joel talked about how he plays the angles. So when he does let in those ones deep in the game, his body language for most fans kind of looks like he wasn't trying, but like his numbers speak volumes. So I just don't see Calgary repeating that.
Yeah, you mentioned, I like the point about Aiden Walsh. Like, he did finish that game very strong. You wonder how much of that was the Rush just kind of letting off the gas a little bit. And then you talk about Rose. I mean, the best part for the Rock is they've already played a game. I know the Roughnecks have, but they saw what the Roughnecks could do. And so I think there's more motivation for the Rock to kind of make their own statement. Like if the Rock, I'm sure, I actually might want to ask Pat about the first half money line. That was, I did the Rush money line first half. Thank God I did, because they almost found a way to lose that son of a gun last week. I was like, that was a good bet. But I felt like the Rock now have a way okay, we see what they could do. Let's lock in. Let's finish these guys to cover. The total, I forgot what it is in this game, but I'm sure I actually don't mind the under in this puppy.
I think it was 22.5 for that one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that Rock decor, they shut Oshawa down. Now, can we question how Oshawa's offense is? That's a whole other story. But
that first game, you're right, was a big deal.
Yeah, and Toronto looked real slick moving the ball by the end of that game. Like if it wasn't Dougie in there, so yeah, I'm leaning Rock 1.5 on that one.
Love it. So California, well, it's in Buffalo. I know Pat didn't want to touch the game, the old goose, but Buffalo Bandits are playing home. Captain, I'm going to be honest with you. On our pick'em list, I know you're not involved in that. You're more of a ladder guy. We've got Frick and Hunter, aka Tim Dillon, picking Halifax. I think they're full of it, honest to God. I think they're absolutely full of it. I don't see. Tell me why. And I told you before the show, what am I missing with Halifax right here?
Well, I like that. I like that lean on Halifax. Vince looked a little shaky to start. I honestly think we've got a good face-off matchup here. So that'll change,
Withers and Farrell,
Yeah, where Georgia didn't quite have that guy last week to tame Buffalo. But on that same token, Georgia put up some numbers on Vince, and I said it, some of those outside shots, Vince did not look himself.
Early on, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Buffalo kind of has that history of having some slow starts.
Right.
Halifax looked great last week, and I criticize Hill, especially last season.
Me too.
I'm still not convinced he's quite up there. I need to see 4 or 5 good games from him, but this will be a real good test for him if he can silence the Bandits' offense. I think a lot of people need to kind of get off his back, but I think we're coming down to a defensive battle here, and we'll see how Vince does in the new rule change affects things.
Don't step back here in my crease. Come on, man. But here's the thing, and I'm glad you mentioned the Warren Hill thing, because I can say this. If this game is close, if he keeps the game low scoring and close, I don't care if Halifax loses. I'll gain respect for him. But it's don't be the reason your team loses. Not saying he's always been like that, but it's there's this is the 4th year doing the show. The previous 3 years, I promised people there wasn't a 2-goal allowed game. There was games he's gonna and it's I want him to. I know everyone swears he can when you have a Six Nations in front of you, but I'm telling people, I've been down the hype train of Warren Hill before. I can't, like you said, until he runs out 5 in a row and keeps it going. I can't get behind it yet.
Big time. We're on the same page, and I know I hyped up too. After the Bandits game, they had 9 different goal scorers, but Halifax had 8 different goal scorers. Empty netters aside, we've got 2 very, very offensive powerhouses going at each other. So this is going to be a very exciting game. Halifax, that lean on Halifax, though, I'm loving it. I'd take the plus 1.5 easy any day.
I don't mind it being a 1-goal game. I'm always scared of those 1.5s. I don't know. You might be right. And by the way, when we get to your ladder, it might be a tease of what you can do with that, but we'll get to that. All right, next up, let's do Oshawa, Georgia. Oshawa's offense, I mean, I keep saying game one. I know they only had 8 goals in a win. That game was also a lot of adrenaline early, and I would not be surprised if we can chalk that up to, okay, game 2, historic performance by Warren Hill. So now with Georgia, Brad Dobson again, I know Bennett's offense is great, still not looking the greatest. Going to Georgia, can Oshawa's offense strike it up? And what is your play on this game if you have a lean?
Yeah, I know hopes. Like I want to see Oshawa's offense wake up.
Me too.
Dougie's doing what he can. He's putting up numbers, better than his career average just to
He's
keep the
allowed
boys into some of these
15 goals
games,
in 2 games.
So I'm still leaning Georgia. I can't remember if there's a +1.5 on Georgia.
Yeah, there's a few.
We talked
it's not great odds
about that. But this week, at least, Oshawa's not going to get dominated in the faceoff dot, so they're going to at least have a few more chances at that possession. They just they couldn't get anything going for them against Halifax. They looked good finishing against Toronto, moving the ball and whatnot. But that Halifax game was just just a terrible outing for the boys.
Yeah. I agree. Like you said, the face-off dot is going to matter in this game because, like you said, they're not going to be Withers did not let them do anything. But for this team, though, I'm not worried, but I'm just you don't want Georgia's. You hope your defense keeps doing its job, and it has the first 2 weeks. I guess, like you said, with Dougie allowing 15 goals in 2 games, they're doing a good job pressing guys. But it's can your like Pat said on a Monday, can your defense hold up for this amount of time? Because the offense is going to have to get going at some point. You hope it's because falling to 1-2 would be not a good look.
Not even maybe, but more importantly, if they don't put up at least a 7 spot here against Georgia, then I think we're having a big overreaction Monday with that offense.
Yeah, whenever Frick's gonna be. I'm kidding. Listen, do you think 10 goals wins this game? Or I know, I want them to score more than 10. Do you think 10 gets it done? I think they might need more than 10.
I think 10 gets it done. Their start is kind of reminding me of how Toronto was the last couple seasons with Rose, and they kind of had a system where they could grind out 9-7 win, 10-8 win sort of thing, right? And this is what Oshawa's starting the season as. But I think a 10 spot with Dougie playing the way he is and that defense holding their zone, I think a 10 spot can pull that one away for sure.
I don't mind that. I told Fraser yesterday, I thought that Oshawa was one of those teams, like you said, that likes to grind it out. But another thing is that when you have Simmons and Kurtz and Dyson, you still want to score at least 10 every week, even if your defense is holding on the fort. So, next up, did he do Las Vegas Vancouver? He did. So let's do Rochester, San Diego. I think a lot of people, it's kind of scary because I thought, some people would like San Diego. All the boys are picking the Rochester Nighthawks here, including me. What is your take? Do you think Seals have a chance? What is your play?
I'm really excited to see Rochester. I feel like they underperformed last season. We talked about Hartley. I think he played his last full season was 2022 or something.
It's the only full season. Yeah.
So I think a big factor on their season is if he can be in there for a prolonged period of time and avoid some injuries.
Correct.
The Seals didn't excite me the first week. I thought, it was more so of an Ottawa team that just couldn't get off the bus. Yeah. But I like that Rochester lean. I know some people look at the over in that one, but
guilty. It's part of my best bets.
I know, and you're gonna hate me for this, but if Hartley has his way.
Oh, you're right.
And I don't see Ulrich having a repeat of last week. Like, what he let in 5 or 6 in the last quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning the under in this one. I think this was a 23.5.
It is
as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, I like Rochester. I like the under. I'm excited to see this team.
I think Wednesday I did a thing called Creating the Narrative. And one of the things I talked about was how much better has Rochester's defense gotten? Because if they want to contend at all, it's like you said, it's Hartley's health, obviously, but also it's as their defense gotten meaner and better. It's interesting. And the fact, like, adding a guy like Nathan Grennan, you almost like it might have gotten better because I know he doesn't play defense, but he like kind of makes things ugly. It's like, are we going to see a new identity? Like, they can still be high flying, but are we going to start to see a little bit more of like punching a little bit here? I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that clip of you with your little there later for some humor.
Whatever.
Regardless, yeah, I think last season, like, their offense had explosive times and they were exciting to watch, going off 5-6 goal runs, but they didn't have consistency there. And Hartley being out, they didn't have consistency there. So I think if they can get Hartley all season, their defense clicking, and that to be the consistent part, then they can work on their offense. And like I say, I think that's a team that can squeak up in the standings to be one of the top 4 this season.
Good point. I told people now currently as the standings are, if the season ended like today, like they started the playoffs tomorrow, Nighthawks would be 9th. Did you see? I've been poking fun with the Wings are in and the Warriors are out all week.
Well, you gotta remember too, Oshawa is gonna have played 3 full games before Rochester has their first.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, because Rochester plays tomorrow. You're right. Yep. Or Sunday, I mean. Oof.
Yes.
Crazy. All right. Let's circle back to Saskatchewan. Cody Jansen and the Rush taking on the Ottawa Black Bears. I want to hit some player props first, and then we can get to your ladders. Pat Gregoire added Austin Shanks over 2 goals. I added Larson Sundell under 3.5 points. I know you've kind of checked out the player props. Did you like anything?
No, I'll be honest. I didn't check out the player props on that game.
You son of a gun. What did you give him at then?
What's that, sorry?
Where were you looking at then?
I had the total and the 1.5.
Yeah, no, I could have swore you looked at the player props before the show.
No, because I can't. I don't have a book available in my area to look at player props.
In my dumb self, I have the dang screenshots and I didn't send them to you. How dare me?
Oh my goodness! Hey, don't worry. I'll let this one slide just this once, okay?
All right, the good people, Elevated Truck and Crane, are very happy to present this ladder. Safe ladder. Tell us what it is, and I'll pop the graphic whenever you do. Step 2.
All right. Last week, me and Frickster put our big boy pants on and jumped on that juicy -200.
He was wrong for that. You were correct.
Either way, me and Frickster rode the short bus together, and we climbed. So I'm going to take that $25, big $25, and we're going to throw that on the, what did I got? The under 23.5 there.
You better
hope. Ladder.
Wow, that was not what in the world? Yeah. Okay, hold on. We're searching. There we go. Yes, you were. What did you have to ask what you had?
I don't got the note in front of me.
I don't know why it's there. It goes. Stupid thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
75 reaches 143 USD at least.
Yep. We're hoping to climb because I'm loving the Saturday slate. So when we hit this, we're going to be climbing again Saturday.
Why do you like the under?
Again, I don't. I see Frankie pulling together, shutting it down. I'm not a big fan of that Ottawa offense.
Dan McCrea's called him out.
Yeah, and I really and truly don't see the Saskatchewan having a brain fart in the second half again. Like, they're going to really tighten this up.
I agree. That's a good point because like you think about like Toronto, they could learn from Calgary. Well, Saskatchewan can learn from themselves. Great point. That's a great point by you.
Yeah, Higgins too. Like I think he's going to. He's not looking to let up a 6-7 spot again in a quarter. So
we're not doing this today. 6-7 spot, really? You just did that? Ladder boy likes to meet with the kids guy. Unbelievable. You did it on purpose, right?
You could have just let it slide on by.
No, you did that on purpose. All right, that deserves. If I can find it, this is just sad. No, sir. All right. Are you now greedy? Could be multiple steps this week. Tell me about it, sir.
So my greedy ladder, I'm kind of going with the same logic last week. We just got to get one. We just got to get one right here under the wing. So I'm going to go just a plus 100 odd for Friday night.
Still
I'm going to take Rush minus 1.5.
Yep.
And when that cashes, I'm going to look at a little bit more of a greedy slate there on the Saturday-Sunday game. So stay tuned midnight tonight.
Oh, sounds good. Eastern. So for the people that don't know, and actually for myself, really, are you going to do a video? Or are we just going to, are we just going to do a tweet tagging Daily Dive? Because we'll repost it either way. Like, are the people looking to see like a Captain's Ladder video or a Captain's Ladder post?
I'll see. All
right.
How I'm feeling after tonight's game.
That's a good point. But so if
they'll have to keep an eye.
All right. So question, and I don't want to put this in the ether because you said I couldn't, but if it doesn't hit, what is the are we doing a play or are we waiting until next week?
We're always doing a play. For sure we're doing a play.
Good timing on that because your Wi-Fi decided to crap itself. So we appreciate you, sir.
Don't put the meme or don't put my used car salesman guy up there.
You mean this thing? I think his Wi-Fi finally failed him, folks. I think it's Wi-Fi. Thank you, Captain. I feel so bad for him. Oh man, that is brutal. But hey, we got it done. We come back though. We're gonna get to the cruise predictions, and that includes everybody's best bets and pick 'em. Don't go anywhere. Dilly Dive's gonna wrap it up next.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Welcome back to Dilly Dive. We want to remind you that if you want tickets to your local or favorite National Lacrosse League team, please buy them at natalkradio.com by clicking the event tickets tab on that website. When you do, you'll see Vivid Seats and just type it in, bam, or not even National Lacrosse League. If you're into something else, type that in too. I'm sure it's there. Alrighty, folks, full disclosure. I did not get a chance to do the pick'em graphic, and that will be done immediately after the show. But we do have the best bets, guys. There were so many bets coming in. We had to trim it down here. So, reminder: Cap'n Safe Ladder, 75 to reach 143.18. Step 2, the Rush and the Black Bears under 23.5. His greedy ladder is the Rush to cover 1.5 against the Black Bears, plus 100 on FanDuel and Coolbet. 50 reaches 100. And of course, stay tuned at midnight Eastern if it hits to see what his next play is for the weekend. And now the crew's best bets. Gamble Guy, who could not be here today. We wish him and his family well. Bandits, Firewolves, and Warriors money lines. Firewolves money lines at plus 100 on DraftKings, by the way. But yeah, my best, and Gamble Guy carries a 4-2 record heading into this week. My best bets, having a 3-4 record right now. I went heavy this week. Rush money line, Rock to cover against the Roughnecks, Bandits money line against the Thunderbirds, Rochester, San Diego over 23.5, and Larson Sundown under 3.5 points. Frick, who brings in a humbling 2-4 best bets record, picks the Rush to cover against the Black Bears. Roughnecks Rock over 22.5. Thunderbirds money line is Buffalo. He's insane. Las Vegas Vancouver over 22. Pat Gregoire, who is all cool bet all the time. Go Polar Bears. Shout out to Antarctica. Rush money line against the Black Bears. That's at, I don't know why I put a plus sign. It's minus 149 on cool bets. I'll fix that as well. Mammoth Wings over 22.5. Dogs Warriors over 22. And he added on the show live Austin Shanks over 2 goals. Be sure to stay tuned to those graphics later on. Today, I will be sure to post them. Now it's time for the crew's picks. So far this week, after, I believe, let me make sure I get this correct here. Last week, Joel Watson was the only guy to go 2-0, and Hunter, a.k.a. Tim Dillon, went 0-2. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Alrighty, now, again, the pick'em graphic will be posted later on after the show ends, probably around 11:30 or noon Eastern. Frick, who brings in a humbling 4-2 record, one of the best of the season so far. He's got the Rush to win, the Mammoth to win, the Roughnecks to beat the Rock, the Thunderbirds to beat the Bandits, Oshawa over Georgia, Vancouver, and then Rochester as well. Those are Frick's picks. Now, next up, we're going to give Joel Watson the stage. Joel Watson takes the Ottawa Black Bears over the Rush. He'll take the Mammoth, the Rock, the Bandits, the Swarm over Oshawa, Vancouver, and Rochester. I have got the Rush to win. I'm going to stick with the Mammoth, even though I really want to pick the Wings. Give me the Toronto Rock. Give me Buffalo, Oshawa, Vancouver, and Rochester. My pick'em record so far is 3-3. And now time for Hunter Smith, a.k.a. Tim Dillon. Timmy D is picking the Rush, the Mammoth, the Roughnecks as well. So he and Frick are on that. The Thunderbirds again, and the Swarm. Dogs over the Warriors. Shout out Tyrell Hammer Jackson and the Rochester Nighthawks. And by the way, none of these guys, the only person who knows who the others are picking is myself because I make the graphics and such. So Frick, Joel and Tim Dillon do not collaborate with each other. Those are all different picks. This will be a big turning point this week. Again, I'll post the full graphic later on, and I'll post the best bets as well with the obviously Rush money line being minus 149 on Coolbet and not plus. I will fix that. But yeah, there's the Crew's best bets. Again, the safe ladder step 2 for captain. And then, of course, the greedy ladder for captain, both presented by Elevated Truck and Crane.